Hey.
Hello.
Hooray!
Yay!
Which means
Hooray,
that
we did
it's
it.
funnier because there's more of us to make jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Briar,
This is straight up
hardly know.
topsy-turvy day. What the?
Can I be heard now? I can be heard now. Hello! Hi! In a twisted turn of events, it's me they couldn't hear this time. I love totally being a professional. I'm not terrible at it at all. Hello!
No,
You're such a
not at
professional.
all.
You're
you're
so
not
great.
terrible.
Anyway.
I'll give you all the positivity. I don't care what you are. Accept it.
I don't care what you are. If you aren't watching the stream, you're not good enough.
Not good.
Oh, well.
I pull out a gun.
No. Anyway, welcome, one and all, to the Ghostlight Theatre, Session 9. Our first session that we're dual streaming. 10 out of 10. Because I think it's cool to do it on two things at once. Why? Because I like pushing myself.
Oh boy,
Miles.
I could be a shithead in the comments on both channels.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, my lord. Anywho. Does anybody want to go over what happened last time? Because it's been a week. 2 weeks.
Hey, Makeshift!
Hey, Makeshift! You remember, right?
Oh boy, time to look at my notes, which I usually very quickly diverge from, if you could not tell, audience. Also, folks, your boy is currently suffering a bit of a psychic debuff from a slice of pizza I ate, and I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what made me wake up with a tummy ache last night. So, your boy has been in better headspaces.
It's not just him
Soup
either.
loops.
Both Makeshift and I are in stomach pain. Both of us. So, wish us luck. It's because look, I'm not gonna lie. I think I ate the same piece of pizza. Between the haunting his walls gig and stuff like that. And either way, I think it was a bad idea.
Yeah, haunting me day and night, making me question my sanity sure does work up an appetite. And yeah, that pizza was it looked good, but a darkness lurked underneath, kind of thematically on point, just like with socks themselves.
Yeah. The thing that always gets me about it as well is it's such a great gig, but I don't get paid for it, so I just have to eat whatever's in your fridge, and unfortunately, whatever's in your fridge is not good. It's poisoned.
Yeah, my roommate leaves a lot of things in there for way too long.
I'm pretty sure
Also,
your room
that's the fuzzy thing I tasted.
things.
What in the hell is going on here?
I don't know. I'm just. I stopped questioning reality.
And that
Clearly.
In other words,
by Makeshift not throwing out leftovers that have been there for too long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
In other words, to get on with the actual summary, so in the previous session, I like how my notes started with Mullen has died. And Roko
Hey.
escaped.
Dead.
Definitely doesn't hurt at all.
Mullen is still deceased, as you could probably tell by the thumbnail of this video if you clicked on this in the future, or by using your eyeballs right in front of you right now. As you can see, they are not listed on the screen as one of the characters. And so, after that, the party had a session where they got to know Briar's new character, which is Talia.
What's up?
If I'm pronouncing that correctly.
You are.
Talia, not Talia.
That's the other campaign, brother.
Yep, exactly. That's the confusing bit. And so they got to know Talia, who turned out to be Mullen's daughter, who also has this odd-looking little, skeleton dragon on her shoulder.
He's so cool.
We love
Yeah.
Maya.
He's a funky little guy.
Yeah.
She.
It's a little guy.
It's a little gal.
It's
Listen,
a little being.
Little guy to me applies to all genders.
You know what? Fair enough.
Guy
Continue.
is gender neutral.
How many
Guys-
guys do you fuck?
Gender neutral. I will call you a funky little guy, depending. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh my.
Calls you guy, but in a feministist way.
Calls you guy, but
Speak-
feministly.
Speaking of little guys, Lil John himself had a few of his memories recovered after Henrik used one of the death spells on him, which ended up breaking one of Henrik's pinkies, and he's going to have to heal that on the next trip or the next travel time. But it revealed to little John that some of his old memories have been manipulated, and it was the ones of him growing up on a farm. And it turns out that that farm was actually just a stable attached to a castle he lived in, or some sort of large manor that his memories are getting a little hazy with. But yeah, he's had a very different childhood than he recalls.
I do say my childhood has not been the same ever since.
Brother, what? Brother,
Yeah, you heard him. He's
It's
a
the
little
real
British
John.
now.
The real John. It's not John, it's Jonathan.
Jonathan Joestar.
I'm gonna. All right, bye guys. It's been fun.
This is a
I'm done.
JoJo's Bizarre
Somebody else can
Adventure.
be the producer anymore. I'm
Funny.
done.
Okay, you
Oh,
say that,
no.
but I actually had a thought of like John ending up just being a Joestar ripoff.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna fucking
Go on a
leave.
strange journey.
I'm gonna leave.
What a bizarre journey.
I'm gonna
What
lose
a-
it. Makeshift, please.
What
Go
a
on.
So
bizarre
anyway,
journey
you might
we've
say.
gone.
The session
what a-
ended.
Unusual trip.
The session ended with the party being like, all right, let's get going to the next area. And everybody in the group was very EPIRL, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to send you all to EAP instead of keeping you here and doing more D&D against your
Gotta
health.
Go eep.
EAP.
And with that, I think, let me take a look at my notes, but I also completely forget if these have it on them. Yes, I think the last thing you all did was you were about to leave after getting a long rest and going to sleep. Is that
Right? Yeah.
Is that correct?
I'm pretty sure that was it. I mean, I could go look at the stream. It's just gonna take me a few minutes.
I think they Talia, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, Talia, Socks, and someone else went to like visit the body.
Oh yeah, we went to the body.
The body.
While Charms split from the group a bit early to ensure the travel could be commenced.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing.
Yeah, that's
had
right.
some
That's
emotion.
exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Uh,
I was very proud of myself for
It's-
giving Talia the emotional space and comfort to allow her to cry.
you also taught her a
um,
D's nuts joke.
I did also teach her a D's nuts joke. I have. Okay, so I forgot until just now, but I wrote. I've started putting together a notepad like file about it.
Oh.
So I've got one new joke for her so
Ooh.
far, but I'll probably think of more during the session.
Hell yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And on that note, is it all right if I jump into the scene? Because your characters are all about to be in kind of a long road trip over to the next city.
Road trip.
Is
road
it all right
trip.
if I start you all out in the cart heading that way?
Yeah,
Hell
I
yeah.
don't see a problem with it.
Nobody needs to like role play something very, very character motivation important.
I need to
I
roleplay
don't know how
a
to phrase
3-hour
this.
shopping trip. No, I'm kidding.
Like right at this, you really need to talk to that one bartender NPC at
No.
the cafe.
No, I'm good.
No,
I hope
now
everyone
that
else
you
is too.
say that,
Shut the fuck up,
I need to
Charles.
talk to that. I need to talk to that one leather making PC that flirted with me.
No.
Nah, he's in a different city altogether. He's
Fuck.
back during
I forgot.
yeah. I'm going to, however, I will do one thing really quickly, which is roll. One is they join you in the cart. Two is they just do their own thing. And I'm going to see if Leverton rides along in the cart with all of you.
Oh god.
Wait, did I say two is they do their own thing or one's they go with you?
Tuesday do their own thing.
Gotcha. They are gonna go. Actually, wait, no, never mind. I want them to be in the cart.
Brother.
I'm going to fudge this roll. First one of the session.
Brother,
Wow.
what?
So yeah, I'm going to have Laverton be in the cart with you, since I do want them to be with the party at this chunk of time.
How
So
big
after
is
you all
this
load
fucking
up into
cart?
the big enough for the party, I guess. Some of
Yeah.
you are very small.
Fair.
In fact, 3 of you are very small. Laverton, Pepper, and Talia
Talia.
are
There you
basically
go.
like are about one person's mass put together.
Okay, well
One
that's
and a
not
half.
fair, is it?
1.5. Come on.
That's why Sharms was able to get it for the sheep, you know.
Oh my god.
Lol. But anyway, you are all in the cart now, and it's a cozy enough ride. This part's not the quote unquote smuggling part. That's when you get closer to the city. But you've been told that there's going to be a point where you have to switch to a boat. But for now, it's just kind of a pretty calm ride on a cart. Is there any conversations? Or actually, your characters can just do their own thing. You see Henrik's just reading a book in the corner and trying to put a cast around his pinky.
Charms is mecking around with his own things. He's fine-tuning his gun. He's fine-tuning the Eldritch Cannon. He's fine-tuning his homunculus. Or rather, sorry, he's fine-tuning his gun. He's fine-tuning Rick Shades, and he's fine-tuning Archimedes.
You're being watched. I just want you to know that you're being watched.
Watch it.
You're being watched by a tiny satyr, and she's not watching you specifically. She's watching what you're doing with your hands, and she's trying to figure out how your shit works. Not in a way that's like, I'm gonna figure out how it works so I can use it against him. It's truly just a hyperfixation. Let me look at the gears.
Is it like that kind of like you try to shyly look, but not get noticed, or you're like blankly just straight up staring?
Oh, she's straight up staring.
Yes.
Like maybe at first she was trying to like, look at it and then not look at it. She's just trying to be like
polite,
but then after a while, I think after he pulls out Rick Shades and starts messing with him, it's just straight up like, oh, I am watching. I am more interested in this than a AAA film. Let's fucking go.
He like just like glances during what he's mucking around with his gun, tightening screws, oiling the parts that needs to move. But when it comes to Rick Shades, after like 5 minutes of just working on him, he has to say something. I've noticed. I couldn't do it with a straight face.
I've noticed.
We're professional actors. We got
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Come on. Yeah. Come on.
I've noticed you have a fascination with my craft.
Oh, thank goodness.
What the fuck, Pepper?
He just ignores Pepper.
Okay. When you speak to her, she kind of looks up, looks at you for a second, realizes you're talking to her, and she's just like, "Oh, sorry."
I do not mind as such. I did not take you for one of the clockwork enthusiasts.
No, not really. But I like figuring out how things work.
And how do you think this works then? As he's going to untighten, screw loose, loosen a screw. There's the right order of words. Loosen a screw. Not cut, but like unfasten a chain, as Ricochet doesn't fall into pieces, but it just begins opening up like a blooming flower sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
As all the bits are still connected by like a root system by the spine, but
Okay.
but the rest is just split open like a vivisection almost. As he just holds it in his hand. So how do you think this works?
This is a good question. Let's see. Makeshift. Do I need to roll anything to see how much I would like understand about this kind of shit? Like Arcana or I don't know, something with the Tinker tools?
I'd say this would have to be an Arcana check, just
Okay.
based on Arcana in D&D is kind of engineering, sort of.
You know, especially I lean towards Arcana just because Eldritch Cannon. But the name Eldritch kind of gives me a thing. Okay.
I'm sorry, what?
14.
You do understand, yeah, you understand a passing amount, but you can't quite put your finger on how the mechanism he's working on functions. Just that it's some mechanism, like it's sort of like a puppet that's being powered by magic, is what you understand.
She leans a bit close to it, and she takes a hand off Maya, but not to touch the cannon, just to like lean a bit forward and keep something, like just keep or balance, keep her balance as the cart moves around and does some stuff. She looks at it for a second, mutters a couple things under her breath in Sylvan as she like moves around your hand to look at it. Well, it doesn't work the same way as Archimedes does. Connected there by the spine. She tries to tell you how it works, but she doesn't quite grasp the connection between the clockwork and the magic. And I'm not even going to attempt that because I'm ooped.
You're on the right path. Magic is indeed the power source transferred and utilized, and he points towards these specific runes along a small little crystal. But you can't really create sentience out of thin air. So instead of having anything in here, and he taps where the head would be with a fine manipulating tool. He pulls back his shirt a little bit. And he sort of just yeah, you know what? He'd probably have some oil somewhere. He grabs a little bit of it and just smudges it against like his collarbone. Like where the collarbone would be.
Yeah.
And inscribed there is the exact same runes.
Oh.
By having the exact same runes duplicated in multiple places, I'm able to more easily impose my will upon the mechanism. As he just lays it in his lap, holds his hand out, and the Eldritch Cannon snaps shut. Not quickly, but slowly closing itself.
Oh. That makes a lot more sense.
Magic is a part of it, just as clockwork is. It needs a vessel to move. It needs a vessel to project. And the little chameleon spouts a small flame, but then
Whoa.
a little whatchamacallit? A little force bolt, like hovering in the air in front of its mouth, and then a small boom sound just emanates a little bit before it goes inert.
She kind of stares at it for a bit longer, quite impressed.
And this is no will of the spirit. It's a will of the mind. And he taps at the side of his head.
Right.
The difference between wizards and sorcerers.
Mm-hmm. I know the difference between wizards and sorcerers, just not all that much. Most of the magic that I can do is kind of like, and she makes a bit of an odd face. It's fey stuff, which doesn't feel like the mind magic, but at the same time, it also doesn't feel like it's all that blood related. I don't understand fey stuff all that well, which is weird because I am one. And she'll sit back up against the wall of the cart.
He puts away the Eldritch Cannon, and Archimedes like jumps from one shoulder to the next and looks at her. If I had to guess, it might be more connected to nature in general than just Fae.
Probably. And she puts a hand back on Maya, and the dragon just kind of like rolls over a bit, looks for pets on the tummy.
If I could ask you a question.
Hmm?
Have you ever been to the Feywild?
Never. Mom didn't want me to
Never.
go back there, and she didn't want to go back, so we just didn't go.
I see.
I don't even know if she was allowed back.
Socks, are you back?
I'm back.
He'll turn to you and ask, have you been to the Feywild? I think I've asked you this question before, but
I'm from there.
right. How do you
So who
feel the Feywild differs in a magical sense? You've utilized the weave in the Feywild, I assume. You've utilized the weave here. How does it differ for you?
You were asking
If there is a
to
difference at all.
give you an idea of what you're asking. You're asking me the same sort of question as you would be if you asked someone to list every single basic principle of reality as you know it. Every single rule, every single structure, every single thing that maybe is a rule but doesn't actually apply in every circumstance, so on and so forth. You are asking me to summarize far too much.
But you feel a difference.
I do. I do feel a difference. That does not necessarily mean I know how to describe every one of those features to you in a succinct manner.
That's less what I was after. I might have worded things wrong.
Maybe. I mean, you're asking about how magic behaves differently in the Feywild, right?
Less how
Yeah.
it behaves differently and more about if there is a difference.
Absolutely, there is. At least in regards to my magic, my let's see, the way that I do things tends to exhibit itself differently in the Feywilds. These things differ from person to person, but at least in regards to myself, some of my inherent magics and the Fey stuff, it exhibits itself with greater ease, at least for me. And it also presents itself differently visually and in the way that it feels and relates to things around you. The weave you kind of the weave here, it's kind of like you're pulling from a reservoir in yourself. But it's like in the Feywild, you're a pond surrounded by other ponds, and you can kind of dip into those a little bit, and you can feel the influence of those. You're like a patch of lake constantly flowing, caught up in the current.
Then
It's beautiful, but it's very different, at least for myself, as a Fey myself.
yes, I can imagine that you're feeling quite parched in these lands.
Oh no, I'm fine.
Well,
It's just different. It's not better or worse, it's just different.
My thought behind this question, as he turns back to Talia, is that perhaps your starting point to utilize magic is of Fey origin, but the magic you use is wholly of this world and wholly of this nature.
That would make sense. Especially it didn't start showing up until I started really going out into the woods, trying to figure out how things worked, trying to figure out how magic interacted with biology. Quite interesting, actually.
Hey, Makeshift, this sounds kind of druidically, right? Sharp
Indeed,
knowledge.
this does sound vaguely close to druid stuff.
While I've not had the pleasure of meeting a druid myself, it does sound like the type of magics they employ. Instead of pulling wholly from themselves like a sorcerer would, or from the weave itself like a wizard would, or like I would. Instead, nature is your medium of casting.
Druids are the ones in circles, right?
Yes, the druidic circles.
Not to be confused with mushrooms, of course.
Mushrooms?
Can I roll and see if Sharps knows there's a circle of the... Oh, what is it?
Spores.
Circle of spores.
Circle of spores.
Also, she's literally just referring to
Fey
circles.
ring. Yeah, exactly. Like two different paths of thought here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
I
one of
like
those
the,
Two
conversations where like
differentisms.
everybody's brain is pointing a different direction. Sure, give me an arcane check or a
Roll
history
on
check.
Oh,
Arcane, that works. Yeah. What were you trying to uncover about what they were saying?
If he knows, like, not reason out, but knows if there's a circle of spores.
Yes, he knows. It is rare, but he knows of it.
Yeah. I have heard of a druidic circle of spores. I do not know much of it, but I know that it keenly stands out from what you'd think a normal druid is. Or normal. In quotation marks.
Jumps.
Well,
I'm just referring to fairy rings.
I see.
well, if it's a
Something
circle of
okay.
spores, then it
there is the circle of spores. It's no, it's just because they grow in circles. That's all I wanted to.
Oh.
It's okay. It didn't work as well as I hoped it did. That's all right. Tell you what, makeup one. I left halfway through a Philharmonic Orchestra performance. Too much sax and violins.
That one's funny. Saxon.
Glad you think so.
He nods.
There you go. Sorry, yes. Please say what you were going to say.
Oh, no, I just was thinking if it's a circle of spores, then most likely it probably has to do with mushrooms and the way that they reproduce and the way that they sometimes will release spores. Especially, hold on, I have to fucking look up the mushroom. They're the cordyceps fungus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with the cordyceps fungus, that one can, like, if it's eaten, it can kind of almost take over the mind of some bugs. I've seen it before. And then she kind of like stops a second and goes, "Oh, wait. No, I shouldn't. I shouldn't start info dumping about cordyceps fungus."
Please, no, don't look awkward. It's okay. Please, go on.
He looks at you, giving you a nod. Like, please
Yeah.
do.
No, we want to know what you got to say. It's like important, and even if it isn't, it's important to you. So that's what matters.
Well, when the cordyceps attacks like a host, I cannot pronounce this fucking word. Mycelium?
Do you want to spell it? And
Mycelium.
I'll say it.
Mycelium, thank
yeah.
you. So the mycelium invades and it replaces the host tissue, and the elongated like body, it can be either cylindrical or branched and things like that. But if it's attacking a host tissue, it'll start to eat away at it and replace it, and it will manipulate the host behavior to facilitate the transmission of spores. So there's this one phenomenon, and basically it's called like the death grip by some of the people in the village. The host will hang underneath the leaves upside down and will clamp themselves onto the leaves with their mandibles. And so it's a self-exposure to predators for greater transmission to other hosts. So if a caterpillar has the cordyceps fungus and it's hanging on and it gets eaten by a bird, then that bird might contract the cordyceps fungus.
A rather convoluted way to spread its spores, no?
You'd think, but it's actually really smart. Because if it's purposefully trying to get eaten, then the host itself might get eaten, but the cordyceps fungus gets to reproduce. And the cordyceps fungus isn't focused on the survival of the host. It's focused on spreading. It's quite spooky. Some people are worried that it could transmute into mortals, like humans and tieflings and satyrs, but it's highly unlikely because our body temperature is, I think it's too high for the cordyceps to survive in, from what I remember.
Hey, question.
Yes.
Are dragonborns cold-blooded?
Oh, that is a good question.
You're lizards, so...
Like, my instinct is they are.
Does he need to sun himself, or is he like wearing stuff that's keeping him warm?
I mean, he's wearing a big coat. Like, you've never seen him not wear that coat.
You like
actually
those over dramatized like Russian coats.
Wait. Sorry. Talia. You say our body temperature is too high.
Mhm.
And she just sort of looks over slowly
Hold
at
on.
the scaled member of the party.
Yeah, hold on. Well, he looks. Well, I don't know what your passive is. You've, so, you've not known him long, but you can read that face, Briar.
Oh,
He is.
you're worried that you're gonna get it? Well, what type of dragonborn are you? I don't. And she kind of like stops and thinks about it for a second. Yeah, what kind of dragonborn are you?
Bronze.
Bronze is electric. Well, if the electricity generates heat, you probably run a bit warmer than most dragonborns. But what is your normal temperature? In Celsius, if you please. I don't quite understand the Fahrenheit stuff.
I am not of the medical
Darn. Well,
persuasion. You can tell that his mind is going at 1,000 miles per hour right now.
well, you don't run around eating things randomly in the woods, do you?
No,
Then you're probably not going to contract it.
that is not what worries me, child.
What is?
He has this like grave look on his face, which is anew for everyone in this cart.
Now I'm confused. My tism's acting up. What's your fucking concern, brother?
There, he has a afraid of his life, like for his life, look on his face as
Why?
he's just
The cordyceps?
Hey, I mean, John,
assassins are clever people.
You don't
And
exactly go around eating caterpillars, do you?
Oh, using cordyceps for assassination. That wouldn't work out very well.
I have thought of a. He like holds up a hand where he like listen.
Oh, and she just shuts up. Like, oh,
like he'll hold up like I have thought of at least 12 ways to utilize it. And I am not an assassin by trade.
by trade.
Professional.
No, I know what it means. Are you an assassin for fun?
What is this Saitama bullshit? I'm an assassin for fun.
I'm an assassin because it gives me something to do on the weekends.
No.
Wait for the kids.
I am not any kind of an assassin.
Okay.
It disturbs me that someone who is not in the thought process of assassinating people that I figured out 12. He stops as he closes his eyes. 13
13?
different ways. I wish to change conversation topic now.
She looks like she doesn't want to change the conversation and tell you how it would be really fucking stupid to use cordyceps as an assassination tool, but she realizes, like, okay, yeah, no, he looks like kind of upset about it. Let's talk about something else.
You hear Henrik like cough and go, Talia, you seem to know quite a bit about fungi. Where did you learn that from?
What's so Marin's Eve, and she kind of like points up a bit. It's really far north, near the mountains. I just like to run around and learn how things work, and when I learn how things work, I understand them and I can do things. And I like to learn how nature works the most. It's not really fungi that I know the most about. And she kind of like looks over at Charms and then looks down at Maya, and she's like, I don't mean this to sound weird, and it's not meant to be weird. I know a lot about dragons. I find them incredibly fascinating. Their mere existence on this planet is highly improbable, and yet they're still here. And so I find them incredibly fascinating, but there's not a lot of dragons to study, so I have to study other things, and I end up studying the farm animals, and the farm animals lead to the bugs, and then the bugs lead to the fungi, and everything kind of just circles back in on itself. I like biology.
As you say, you study dragons. You see a track switch in his mind.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Really now?
Really what?
You study dragons.
As much as I could. The library didn't have a lot of good books on them. In fact, I got some of it wrong. But there was this one guy that would come in every once in a while. He was a traveling librarian, bookseller person. I don't know. And she kind of like holds her hand up and does like side to side motion with it. I never paid him for his books, but he still let me have them. Either way, they were books from the other continent, and she kind of like waves a hand towards the west, the other continent, the big moving city. I forgot what it's called.
Yes.
The one, yeah, the one that, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Charm says the name, but I forget the name. Which one is it?
Vestia.
You got literature from as far west as Vestia.
It was a traveling person. Like, and she kind of shrugs. Either way, the only interesting one that was there was the one on dragons. And it's about the dragons that live over in that continent, and she starts to get really excited. The ones that live, like, really high up in the mountains. And if you're living high up in the mountains, that means that you have to have a really interesting respiratory system. Sorry.
does not surprise me that you picked up odds and ends from someone from Vestia. There tends to be a certain type of personality attached to the city.
I don't know much about it. Doesn't really interest me that much. I mean, the whole moving through dimensions does, but the way the guy talked about it, it sounded weird.
It is rather weird how it works.
But I like this book on dragons, and he let me keep it. I have it, actually, and she'll, like, turn around, get into her backpack that's, like, the size of her back, and she'll dig around in it for a second, and then pull out a book. Have y'all, Makeshift, do you remember the, like, dragon book that they'd sell at Scholastic book fairs?
Dragonology.
Yes, I know exactly.
Yeah, the Dragonology book. Yeah, she pulls out something kind of like that, but it's a lot more beat up, and you can see there's, like, tabs, not of sticky notes, but of something similar, just like taped on the side so she can find things really quickly. And she opens it up and she shows like one portion of the book that has like an illustration in it, and she kind of like drums her fingers on the edges of it, and Maya gets up and moves out of her lap so she can put it in her lap.
Hey, question, Makeshift.
Yes.
Is Old Strel chromatic or metallic?
He's a big bird, so not metallic. I guess he would be chromatic, like a blue dragon, but he's kind of his own thing.
Yeah. If that's the closest he can equate things, he's gonna ask Talia, what do you happen to know about blue chromatic dragons?
Give me just a second.
The closest counterparts.
Blue ones. And she'll kind of like run her fingers along the edge of the book, look for a very specific tab, find it, flip the page to it. And, the book kind of makes like a thunk sound as it's fucking huge. And she opens it up, and there's an illustration of not Aldestral, but of a blue chromatic dragon. So the blue dragons, they're also sometimes called storm dragons, which is interesting because not all of them are connected to storms. Either way. Some people think that they're manipulative. My brain is going too fast.
Manipulative.
Thank you. Manipulative. But commenting on the temperament of dragons is offensive, maybe? Stereotypical?
Oh, I don't mind at all.
Oh, okay. Well, some people think that they're manipulative and maybe even slightly evil, but they follow their own types of codes, so they're not just going and electrocuting people in the streets. They can create hallucinations, which is really cool, and they can, again, the stereotype, there could be a little bit cruel when using these hallucinations, but again, stereotypes. They prefer aerial combat, which is really interesting, because dragon aerial combat's really cool if you've ever seen it, which I haven't, but I can think about it.
I can imagine it.
Let's see.
In here.
Blue dragons, you can usually distinguish them, not by their color only, because sometimes if they're in the sky and the sun is shining down and you can't really tell if is that chromatic, is that metallic, but sometimes you can see like this single horn, and it comes up right here in between their head and near their ears, that she like points to it. And their ears can be really large and frilly, which would make some people think that they might be connected to water, but they're not. That actually might be where the storm thing comes from. And she thinks about it for a second, like shakes her head. No. And she goes on and she talks about their layers, and she talks about more of the combat stuff. She talks about their reproduction for a second.
I'm sorry.
Not in like the sex way, but in the very clinical biological way.
Like you're learning this at school kind of way.
Yes, it's not in the Ayo dragon, I'm a bard, let's go. It's the
Pulls out the equivalent of Rule 34 in this
she
world.
does not describe their sexual organs. It's more in the way of the egg forming and how the egg differs from other dragon eggs. And she goes on for a bit.
When she talks about when she talks about bits that is relating to Aldestrel, Charms like meets it tries to meet Henrik's eye contact.
He makes eye contact with you.
Like whenever she brings a point like that fits in on Aldestrel, he's trying to insinuate we might be able to learn things we could use against him via her. We just need to that's the message he wants to get across.
On the other end of that, when she mentions dragon reproduction, you just see Pepper nodding sagely, as if like, "Yep, that's correct." Yeah.
Wait. Damn, I wish Tolly wasn't so violently autistic because I might never notice that. Damn it. No, I'm not gonna lean into your horny dragon fucking. Anyway.
Hey, no, I have an explanation, and it's not horny,
Oh?
but yeah, you're not gonna get it unless you inquire, because that's how roleplay works. Apparently.
You know what? Fair enough. She'll describe like the look of their eggs for a second, and then she'll realize that you've been like nodding and like saying, "Mm-hmm, yeah, yep," like confirming. And she kind of turns and she looks at you and she goes, "Did you study their reproduction too?"
I mean, I went to a bardic school. I had to. It's not necessarily of my choice, but it was an elective that they had available. Was because you do your main what you're doing. You do. Some places call it a major, some places just call it your degree, and then you do like little side subjects and stuff like that. You do sciences.
Yeah, I know what electives are.
You're in sciences, that sort of stuff. Yeah, electives. I did some biology electives. What can I say?
They have an elective on dragon biology?
They have electives on a lot of different biologies. That is the wonders of the Fey realm, is that you just have a lot of electives stacked on top of one another in the same time slot, in the same room, but it's like whichever one you go into is the one you end up in. It's great. It's great stuff, honestly.
Does Charms believe Pepper here? Because I feel like he doesn't.
Talia does. She cannot tell if you're lying or not.
Pepper definitely learns some biology.
They
call that medical studies.
I'm a hands-on learner.
Oh my god.
Okay, ye of little faith. I did go.
Here's my diploma.
I did go to higher education. I did study this stuff. Get your minds out the gutter.
You can study dragon biology. Where did you go? I want to take that class.
I mean, you gotta. I mean, actually, I was gonna say you need to wait a couple of years, but actually, you're not really doing any schooling at the moment. You're quite intelligent. I reckon you'd get in.
School in Marin's Eve is terrible, and she like kind of kicks her foot a little bit.
No, you are more suited for higher education, I believe.
Tell you what, once we get your mum back, if we get your mum back, we'll have a conversation with her about getting you into some education, some fun university stuff. How's that sound?
She like gets this goofy little grin on her face, and she kind of nods like hee. And if you are good at spotting shit, you can see that the tail behind her is just kind of going a mile a minute. Like, oh fuck yeah, let's fucking go.
I am absolutely paying attention to that.
I want to see if I notice it. I do.
Tail go brrr. A little deer tail just smack it up against the side of the cart wall.
He readjusts the sound a little bit.
Yeah. No, I figured I'd just. This is all stuff that's pretty new and interesting, you know? It wasn't just dragons I studied, for what it's worth. But yeah. I just like knowledge. It's power.
It is.
Talia will look up and look over at Henrik. Didn't you say we were going to meet another one?
Well, in theory, as long as we can actually find them.
Find them?
Well, yes, you see, well, Alderic was the mayor of the town we were just in. Well, not really town, city. And Aldestrel is the head of the academy. The one we're going to be trying to find is, well, not exactly an elected official, you might say.
Can Charms figure out who it is he's talking about? I'm gonna cast guidance on myself for this one.
Yeah, give me a history check as you quickly do the Macarena and the cards to make it easier.
He does the oil thing, not the Macarena.
No, the somatic component is he reaches into his coat and smears some oils on his hand, and then whispers under his breath. That's not whisper, but he says quietly to himself, like, knowledge, or like, there's got to be some god of knowledge or something or other.
There is. I played her.
Do you whisper something about the god of knowledge?
I mean, I feel like there has to be like a general, like, fucking dear God, help me in my studies. General. Like, there has to be that sort of generic, like, prayer, like, help me.
Word, but you do pray to some sort of god of knowledge slightly right now.
I mean, that's what he does when he does guidance, because, sure, he might be distilling the weave, but that's just to help fire up his brain a little bit extra. And sometimes
the answer is yes.
Yes. yes, that's the answer.
Give me that history check.
Oh.
Nice.
That's a 28.
Oh my.
Oh. You know all the history.
You were there. The clarity floods into you, and as you do this check, you notice Laverton, who's sitting just across from Henrik, against one of the... They're like the far side. The innermost part of the cart. Mm-hmm. Her and Henrik are facing each other. She's just been braiding her hair. You notice that they've stopped like mid-braid on like some thin, long strand of hair. And they've looked straight up at you and like... Not like... They're glancing at you, I guess, is more accurate. They've stopped what they're doing to watch you. And one more time, what was that history check for?
To see if you can piece together, like, which one of the all is it that we're trying to find, who is not an elected official, hides of all things.
Oh, you immediately recall that although the only two grand dragons who are like officials and make it well known, so a lot of people believe them to be the two grand dragons, there is a third in the region at least, which is less known because they aren't elected, and they go by the name Alamir.
Alamir. He just... Yeah, no. He just says, in common, the Great Mirror. Really?
The Great
interesting choice of ally.
Indeed. I don't think that my father is going to enjoy that one that much.
We're not out on a joyride to encourage his opinion of us. Now are we?
True. And to answer your question, Talia, they... Well, you see him, like, blush a little bit. Well, they are friends, so to speak, but Aldestrel is a bit official for, well, making friends with the other dragons. But Alamir, he's friendlier, you might say.
Can I see if I know anything about Alamir?
Sure, give me a history check as well.
Let's go. Oh, fucking history. History is not good. Is there anything else I can get you to use? Probably not. Yeah, no, alright, history. Fuck it. Oof. 8. Yeah, no. I don't know shit.
Yeah, you just know that certainly is. Actually, give me advantage just because Charms just said the name Alamir.
Okay.
And it might have shook your memory a little bit.
Okay. What's that? What?
Wait, you're a
13.
ranger. Don't you have like advantage on recalling information about dragons?
I do technically. I think. Hold on. Give me a second. Favorite enemy. Not with Ranger Revised, unfortunately. Wait. Yeah, not with Ranger Revised. I have advantage on wisdom checks to track my favorite enemies. Because we've only fucked with Ranger Revised in this house.
Gotcha.
Word. Yeah, you don't know too much about them. You just know that you've been given descriptions that their scales might be like they seem to be one of the darker colors of dragon, but you haven't really heard any sort of clear description about them. Just you know the name.
She kind of like pouts for a second as she's trying to remember anything about Alamir other than that, and she just shakes her head like, that one I haven't heard about that much. Alamir. Al the Great. Ymir. I forgot what Ymir was in Draconic. It's poet, isn't it? Or performer? Poet, performer. It's something like that.
Is she far off?
She is actually correct.
He nods.
Which one? Poet or performer, brother?
he nods and says, "Yes."
It's
correct.
poet.
It's poet, okay.
He nods. Yeah, you're correct. Poet.
She kind of like looks a little proud of herself, like, fuck yeah.
I got that right.
I get it right. Yay.
Yeah.
Great poet. She kind of like looks over at Pepper. Isn't poetry like a bard thing? Pepper's not here.
I was about to say.
He sort of answers for Pepper.
Oh no.
And says, "Yeah, some bards who use magic are known to be poets. Some are dancers, some are singers, instrumentalists.
Some are comedians.
Some are comedians."
I mean, when I told people I wanted to be a bard, they all laughed at me. Figured it was a good start.
The bard in Marin's Eve was really bad.
That's for your joke.
Okay.
Yeah,
and she like she puts the dragon book
Yeah.
away, pulls out the joke book, and starts writing it down.
Lil Jon is just howling in the corner.
Yeah. I'm laughing because John's laughing. We're both laughing.
Little John, can you stop howling now? It's not your time to do your wolf impression.
Sorry. I'm sorry. It was pretty funny.
No, it's okay. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay. All right.
And Talia, you also now notice that Laverton is glancing over at you instead now.
At me?
After you recalled that info about Alamir, they glanced over at you.
Her ears kind of twitch a little bit, and she looks up from the joke book and looks over at Laverton and just kind of like side eyes her for a second, looks down at the joke book, looks back at Laverton, looks over at her dragon, at Maya. And she says to Maya in Draconic, that lady kind of creeps me out.
Sharp's response in Draconic. She has her own charm.
She kind of like looks over at you and is like, shit, right, there's another person that speaks that here, fuck. Sorry.
He continues saying, speaking Draconic is not a guarantee for secrecy. It's a lesson
definitely
I learned.
not.
She looks over at Pepper and is like, wait, what?
He smiles at Pepper.
And Henrik then speaks up and says, in Draconic, Yeah, it's not very
Fuck.
well hidden.
She looks over at Henrik and she looks a little panicked and she's like, I wasn't trying to be secret. I just.
Sharp
Is it still
finishes
in
in Draconic, especially in this crowd.
I wasn't trying to be secretive. I was trying to not be offensive.
John is just staring at us like, what are you people talking about?
Everybody here is speaking wingdings.
Literally
What does he say?
wingdings.
I'll speak Taco Bell.
I don't speak Taco Bell, bro.
No, does not say that. This is me making a joke. He does not say Taco Bell. We're not bringing fucking shit into this world like we did with the fucking Subaru.
Cheese or no cheese?
Lol.
Okay. Yeah, no, she like glances between everybody that's spoken Draconic. And she just like kind of hides her face a little bit. And she says in Draconic, I wasn't trying to be secretive. I was just trying to not be offensive. Creepy laugh.
Oh.
Did y'all say a funny joke? I don't understand. Because why is he laughing?
Everybody here speaks Draconic, and she's speaking back in common. Everybody here speaks Draconic, and I didn't realize that.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's alright. I don't understand anything.
Leverton like closes her eyes and like gives you a little nod.
Oh fuck! She like looks over at Leverton, realizes she speaks it too, and just puts a hand over her face, and you see the little dragon is like doing this odd motion, but it looks like it's laughing too, and Maya's just doing this fucking little like cat laugh.
Charm starts to go back to tinker with Archimedes. As his
Bird.
laughter sort of dives down.
Bird.
Bird.
Oh my god.
That's his
Suddenly
working music.
everyone speaks French. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh
Except
my
for
god.
me.
Anyway,
Bonjour.
once she's finished writing the joke in her joke book, she'll close the joke book. She's not going to put it in her bag, but she's going to put it in a pocket on the side of it so she can easily reach for it again, because she has a feeling Pepper's got more.
Yeah, this has happened twice already today.
Yeah.
She's just like, I'm gonna be ready.
How much longer until we get there, Henrik?
Henrik like he like looks up into the side like he's thinking about something, and he goes, should only be about 2 more hours on the cart, and probably only about 1 hour on the boat.
I'm gonna take a nap. And then she'll reach into her bag and pull a blanket out, tuck it around herself kind of like a burrito, and she's gonna lean up against the wall of the cart and then try to go honk shoe. And Maya will climb up into her lap. She's not gonna curl up and lay down, but she's just basically gonna sit like a cat and stare at everybody.
Word. You do that. Curl up to try and go EB.
Good old hunk shoe.
Yeah, Talia goes to sleep. Maya stays awake and protectively sits on Talia's lap.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Sharps is just gonna work on
Well-
his stuff.
If we're gonna get ready to go,
Yeah, not a bad time to catch some sleep, if you can stand the movements of the cart.
That's my secret, Cap. I'm always EP. If no one has anything
Whoa.
else to do, can we time
Let's-
skip to the boat?
My vote is that.
Moat.
Word. I'm good to
Oh.
do that.
Yeah.
Word.
Moat.
So, after you all finish up the cart ride, You dismount the cart on this kind of inconspicuous part of the road. There's not like any gateway. You're just getting close, like the air around you is getting more humid. You've noticed that? But the person who was driving the cart, just pulls out a lantern and like starts directing you to follow him through like some woods towards what you can tell is water nearby.
Hmm.
And I assume you all just follow along with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Word.
Maya will wake Talia up by basically like climbing up onto her chest, and then the dragon basically taps its paws against her cheeks multiple times until she wakes up, and she'll wake up and just groggy baby satyr and will follow.
Nice. And as you're it's only like it's like hardly more than a minute's walk into the woods before you come across a pretty small wooden wharf that has like a few largish kind of like just wooden canoe, not canoes, I don't know the term for this. Is it barge?
What kind of boat are you thinking of?
Like a
The
big
boats like
Viking,
the classic France looking ones or Italy looking ones that like use a stick to like
a
poke them out of
gondola.
the water.
A gondola.
Yeah,
Gondola?
that's it. Yeah.
France looking ones.
Yeah,
France.
That's
The Italians are gonna
France
kill
looking
you.
ones.
Yeah, I revised it.
It's
to
fine. Best they do is
Italy.
switch sides.
You were gonna get hunted like a dog.
Yeah, I revised it from French to Italy. Just kind of.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Not
European
stop them
culture.
coming for you.
Now hold on just a second there, brother.
Yeah, hold on now.
Now hold on.
You have
two.
two Europeans in this chat. One of them may actually fight you.
Dang.
Don't worry.
I won't
If
tell you
talk
which
shit
one it
about
is,
the
Smiles.
If you talk shit about the Italians and French, I'm okay. I'll join you.
I mean,
However-
it's fine to talk shit about the Italian and Spanish. Anyway, a boat?
What the fuck did you say? No, fuck you say, you little fucking seal.
or boat?
No.
Boat? Boat?
Boat?
I heard what you said.
What?
I'm keeping my eye on you.
What are you gonna do?
So
What are you gonna do? Come fight me?
you all climb
Turn
aboard
Part two.
the gondola, which is pretty cozy. Like, even though this is intended for smuggling, it seats all you pretty easily. And you'd see the driver, he's just kind of like using a stick to poke the ground, and he makes his way through these kind of like small canals, and as he travels further, like the vegetation changes from the forest behind you to like some mangroves and other aquatic plants, and it slowly becomes more and more aquatic as time goes on.
Mm.
And you are now currently in the midst of a very
How steady is this boat?
it doesn't it's pretty darn steady.
It's pretty darn steady. So if I lean over the side and try to like grab at one of the plants and look at it.
Yeah, you could probably do that, and it will only rock the boat like a little bit.
Okay, she's definitely gonna do that. She'll.
Yeah.
So what? She's gonna. Okay.
I just realized you're gonna have
plants.
to counterbalance me and Charms, the two biggest boys here.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Big
worry
a
about
gondola.
It's a okay. I'm just gonna.
This boat made of pant. Call it a gondola.
I hate it. But makeshift. The plants. Are they normal like aquatic plants, or are they? Or do any of them look like special, like some pretty colors or things like that?
It depends on what you're
Funky
trying to
weeds.
grab at. If you're trying to grab at like a mangrove or something hanging from those aquatic like bark plants that are more like a tree in size, that's just gonna be a tree with some leaves on it.
Nah,
If
I'm
you're
going for
grabbing
something in
for
the
like
water.
like a floating plant, yeah, you see
Yeah.
like some lily pads, and
Ooh.
you see a few floating plants drifting by.
would like. Can I roll a nature check to try and identify like a lily pad that I can grab and not disrupt the ecosystem too much?
Yeah, sure.
Fuck! That's a nat 1.
Oh my. As
Oh.
the gondola is going by,
Oh no.
or like just kind of moving along, your body's very lightweight, so you don't really shake the boat too much.
Uh-huh.
But you notice this like really cool looking flower growing on top of a lily pad.
Ooh.
And it's like, that thing, like it's almost like it's almost like an edible pink color. It's hard to. It looks delicious.
Okay,
you know,
I'm
like
not
when you see,
gonna eat it.
You know, like in The Land Before Time, when like those leaves look delicious for some reason.
Yeah.
It's got that vibe of like, dang, that's a nice looking flower.
Okay. I'm not dumb enough to think, yes, fun, brightly colored flower, let's put it in my mouth. But I am highly curious to get my hands on something like that. So I'm going to quickly put on a pair of gloves, just in case, and then I would like to try and grab it.
Give me a dexterity check.
Check?
That's not
okay.
hard, it's like a 5.
Okay. Don't nat 1 this, please. Meat
That's a
beats,
5.
asshole!
Please,
I don't fall in. Yay.
You all notice that as Talia's like watching the water with a strong tism energy, there comes a point where you're like floating past like a group of lily pads that have like these nice looking flowers on top, and they like reach and stretch like a bit far to like grab one, and they pluck one of the flowers off the top of the lily pad, and you could just see them holding this like noticeably kind of large like lotus looking flower.
Yeah.
She's going to quietly go like, yes, like she got it without, tipping into the water, and she'll sit back in the boat and she'll start examining this flower with the gloves on, just in case it's mildly poisonous. Is it poisonous, Makeshift?
I mean, give me a... Now that you're able to examine it, let me take a look.
Investigation check?
It's venomous.
Your nature check was nat 1.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
So you just don't know what you grabbed.
Yeah, I have no idea.
In the
Never
ecosystem.
seen something like this before.
But on investigation, you can give me a... I guess would it be investigation?
I mean, I'm looking through it. I'm using my hands. I'm checking it out. I'm making sure. I'm trying to figure out if it's not venomous, poisonous. I don't know what the fucking word is for a plant.
Toxic, generally.
Toxic. Yeah, sure. We'll go with toxic. A 10. Motherfucker,
type
she's
of
not
toxic.
rolling well.
Oh no.
You investigate it, and it doesn't seem to be toxic.
Oh, hell yeah. All right, well, I'm still not going to eat it because I'm not that fucking dumb. But now that I'm like, okay, yeah, it's probably, if I touch this, it's probably not going to kill me. I will keep the glove on in the hand that I'm holding the flower. So the hand that's holding the flower, the glove stays on. But then she's going to reach up with her other hand, take her teeth, pull the glove off. And at that point, she'll start actually, like, holding it kind of close to her face, checking it out, like moving the petals aside. When I grabbed this flower, did I like rip it from a root or anything like that, or was it just sitting there?
It didn't feel like it was attached to the plant. It felt like it was sitting on top of it.
Okay, I'm gonna turn it over and I'm gonna look at where stems or roots would be. So like I'm gonna flip it, check out the bottom of it.
You turn it over, and right where like the stem of the flower would be, there's like a nub and a hole in the bottom, and it seems like there's something green and colorful inside of it.
Oh, green and colorful. Fuck, I want to find out.
Sharp's gonna pay attention to her now.
Yeah.
I want to find out what this green and colorful thing is. I would like to investigate further, Makeshift.
Give me an investigation check.
Hot diggity dog, brother. Investigation.
I'm gonna watch as she
11.
makes choices.
I'm just not rolling well. Hey, just give me my fucking rolls back, you asshole.
No, it's mine.
As you're looking at this, you recall your conversation from the cart, where you were talking about myconids being a type of parasite that tries to get eaten. And as you're looking at this little green nubbin inside the base of this flower, you realize it probably is the flower that belongs to the plant, but there's probably some sort of parasite that like ate the bottom of the plant and is living inside of it waiting to get eaten. Because you can see the greenness is kind of like undulating just a little bit, but it's hard to see from the base of the flower.
Oh, that's cool. She is so fucking interested right now. Nothing else matters right now. I am sitting in a boat. I've got a cool thing in my hands. I want to figure out how it works. Is there any way that I can, like, get a closer look at this thing?
It's gonna jump in your eye.
We already lost about nothing on her.
While keeping a cautious distance from... I'm not holding it up to my face.
Do you want a magnifying glass?
Yes. Yes, I do.
You should ask for it.
Those flowers look mighty delicious, don't they?
Do you actually fucking say that?
Yeah.
Don't eat it. No. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. I think this is very similar to the cordyceps thing that I was talking about earlier. Well,
No, go ahead.
Hey, Chums, do you want to test the hypothesis?
No, you eat it. You said it was delicious.
No, nobody eats it. I don't eat it, and then I can't look at it.
You want to look at it?
Yes, I want to look at it, but wow, damn it,
Charms starts going through his bag of holding.
I think I broke my magnifying glass a couple miles back.
He holds out a magnifying glass.
She like looks at you. She gets this like again a dopey grin on her face, and she kind of like gingerly reaches
before you're
out.
about to take it, he like tilts his wrist back and says, "Do not break it."
I won't try to.
He hands it to you.
Okay, and she takes it gently, and will use Charms' magnifying glass to try and get a better look at this thing that has now living in this flower. I want to see it. I want to look at it.
Please accidentally drop the my thing.
No, I would feel so bad. She'd go in to try and get it. She would feel so bad.
As you're talking, Laverton, looking at the flower, just casually reaches over to it and grabs it like the very tip of one of the petals and like tugs away a part of it. And you see that like a thin film of like the pink flower comes off, and underneath it is like this kind of tubular caterpillar looking shape that's similar to the flower, where it's got these like undulating like green and yellow colors.
Oh, that is so cool. And she'll take the magnifying glass, and again, she's not going to go super close to it, but she is going to like look at it really closely and be like, "Oh, this is so fucking cool." Is this supposed to be like the cordyceps that she was describing, or is this a different one?
This is different. You just recall that it's probably part of a similar life cycle.
Oh, I'm trying to remember. I think I know what you're talking about.
It infects snails.
Yeah, I know. So it is the one from the Chainsaw Man opening. Okay. What's it called? Google, be my friend. It's a parasitic flatworm. I cannot pronounce this.
Spark notes. If everybody who's watching, it's a type of worm that infects snails, and then it lives inside the eye stalks, and it makes an undulating motion to signal birds to catch their attention.
Yeah, I know which one that is.
I know the ones you mean.
Yeah, I dropped the scientific name in chat. Some people call it the green-banded broodsack, apparently.
Paradoxum, I just call it, honestly.
Paradoxum, okay. So I don't know what this is then. So, well, it would make sense that she doesn't know what this is because she's never been in this kind of like environment before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's like watching the undulating thing. Oh, this isn't even close to the cordyceps. This is completely different, but it's still doing the thing. I wonder, is it doing this to try and make it itself attractive to predators as well? You're gonna like, she lifts it not towards her face, but up so she can look at the like the underside.
Are you lifting it up above your head?
Yes.
Bird. Woo!
As you're lifting it up above your head, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh fuck. Here's where it comes back to bite me in the ass. 23. Never mind.
What a god.
Nice. As you lift it up above your head, you hear this odd noise from behind you, which sounds like rushing water almost.
Huh?
As you're able to, and this like blur heads towards your hands, and you're just in time able to yank your hands away from it, as what seems to be a relatively large catfish, like probably like 4 feet long.
Jesus.
Actually, more like 3 feet long. It's like the length of an arm.
Okay.
It's my size. It's the same size as me.
Jesus.
Yeah. 3 foot long catfish like lunges and snatches it out of the air. But what's noteworthy is that this catfish does not fall back down into the water. It seems like it's swimming in the air right now as it's just chomping on this big old flower.
What the? A flying catfish? That's... Does it have wings?
It does have fins on its side that are stretching out further than a typical catfish. And as it continues to chomp, it just kind of casually drifts back towards some mangroves, and it literally seems like it's swimming in the air.
Oh. That is really weird. I love it.
Upon seeing this catfish jump out of the water, a fish the same size as her, Pepper is gonna very hastily tuck her wings back and lie down to like get herself out of sight.
Catfish aren't predator animals. They probably won't go for you.
Probably isn't good enough.
Well, you're about as big as it, so it's not going to eat something that's as big as it. It's going to eat something about the size of that flower. Why did it come from...
You would be unpleasantly surprised by what fish are capable of eating. Just because they can't eat it doesn't mean they won't good and goddamn try.
Well, if it helps...
We've been fighting a collector of certain items. He says there's a new soul around us. But I do believe that if we could not fight a fish, but we could fight them.
Fighting what now?
Fish.
No, the first thing you said. You could easily fight a fish. You could, honestly, if you wanted to, you could just electrocute the whole place and then boom, you'd have a ton of fish to eat. But no, the first thing.
It'd be easier dropping an explosive in, but that would destroy the biome. And as much as I don't necessarily like the idea of being drowned by a fish who can't even eat me properly, I'm also not exactly going to go dynamite fishing about it.
Yeah, please don't. Anyway.
I want to eat fish.
Fish.
Do you have a fishing rod?
Can't eat you.
No.
That feels like you're avoiding the question. Why are you fighting an antique dealer?
Because the antique dealer has antiques we want.
The antiques are part of a dead god.
He looks at you and then looks at the person who's like steering the boat. Like, motherfucker, do you not see the new person here?
a boatman.
Oh, huh. She's gonna like look really uncomfortable for a hot second, and then just
Hey, look.
she's gonna go back to looking at the plants.
Hey, look. I've been telling jokes this whole trip. That's one of them. Pepper is just. She is still a little out of it. So she like kind of forgot that the guy was there.
So how much longer until we get there?
30 minutes.
Natalia is going to pull out a snack bar and start munching on that because she's hungry. There goes one of my rations. Miles.
All right.
John's trying to see if there is a fishing rod somewhere in this gondola.
I'm gonna go fishing.
I'm going fishing.
You know what? Can I give him guidance? I'm gonna give you guidance.
Guidance for fishing.
Sure.
Go fight that fishing rod.
Fucking fishing. Let's go, baby.
Oh my god.
Give me a, I guess, investigation check.
Investigation, please. Oh no.
You know what?
One.
You're gonna have Archimedes help you. Do it at advantage.
Let's go, baby.
Oh my lord.
Fishing time, baby. Come on. Fuck.
Roll it again. Yep. Archimedes is helping you.
Oh,
you
I
have
get
advantage.
Yeah. You're right.
Just roll again.
Fuck off Discord notification. I want to see my rolls.
Oof, even worse.
Okay, so it's 8. It's an 8. Roll a 1d4.
Okay. Actually, fuck it. We'll use physical dice this time.
Go noodling. I'm begging you.
Wait, no, but then you guys have to stock the gondola.
Fair.
Yeah. I mean, I would. However, knowing my mistake with Azim of letting things, myself entering a thing's mouth, it does not go well. Okay, 1d4.
Lol.
Maybe. That's a 3.
All right,
3?
so
All right.
So
That's-
that's 11.
Okay.
Little John looks around the boat until he checks over his shoulder and he sees that there was a fishing pole like mounted behind him, and his body just kind of blocked most of it. Like, oh, there's one.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, you see Archimedes sitting on it, like giving you a little tap, like tap tap.
Like a little peck.
Yeah.
John looks at the fishing rod, gives a big grin smile, like, fishing rod. And he grabs it. Now I must
do
find
that.
bait.
There's like a little can sitting at the base of where the fishing rod was.
Little can of worms or maggots and stuff.
Yeah, it's got some like little grubs in it.
Hell yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
grab the rod and the grubs, go to the edge of the gondola, start fishing.
You
Hell
do
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Bad boy in suspenders is not suspenders, but overalls is
Overall's
fishing.
fishing. Fuck yeah. Let's be Huckleberry Finn, motherfuckers. Yeah.
Where do you
Hell
cast? Where do you cast your line at? Like, where are you aiming it?
I'm casting like generally in the like the center of the I don't want to throw it at the edge of the I'm assuming this is like kind of like a big Mississippi River kind of thing, not like the ocean.
No, you're more like in a kind of like a big swamp that doesn't smell bad.
Okay.
It's like a mangrove swamp, essentially.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Then I'll throw my line more. I try to aim somewhere that is like more opening of water than trees, because I know like most they're like patches of trees that clump up, but then there's open water, so I throw in more of the openish water.
Gotcha. Cast
Yeah.
your line into more open water rather than
Yeah.
towards the trees.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Give me a and how do you give me an animal handling check to see how you do with attracting things with the bait?
Oh, brother, I have advantage with that.
Oh hell yeah!
Son of a bitch.
That's a bitch. 7. Oof.
7.
You still got guidance, technically.
No, it's only for one skill check.
Archimedes. Let's go.
Oh,
it's to
never
one ability
mind.
check. But you have Archimedes sitting on your shoulder now, keeping an eye out
Spying
for fishes. Yeah, exactly. Spying out the fishes.
What if Archimedes does the seagull thing where he dives into the water and gets fish?
No.
Use metal. No.
No. Okay.
Like he might be oiled, he might survive the rain, but
All right.
So that means roll again, Dingy.
All
you
right.
just roll about it. Yeah.
Hey, let's go!
Fish.
Advantage comes in handy.
Fish.
As you're casting this line out, it almost feels like you got a good muscle memory for how to go fishing. And you give it like this kind of zigzag motion as you go left to right and reel in the line like ever so slightly. And you can tell it seems like there's some sort of shadow under the water that's approaching it.
Uh-huh.
And
It approaches.
you feel a slight like pull on the line. Give me a dexterity check.
Dexterity. Dexterity saving throw or just dexterity?
Just a check.
Okay. Fuck.
5.
It's been a hot minute since I fished.
Yeah. You're able to. It kind of catches you off guard. It was hard to get the timing of it, like when you're playing Animal Crossing, and you're not quite ready to press the A button. But you give it a yank, and it seems like it's now on the line. But probably just not all that well. And you now got a fish on the line.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Feeling the tug and like the excitement, like, oh, fish on, and then I start like trying to reel it in, just like, come on, you motherfucker.
You give it a good reeling in. Give me a strength check.
Oh, come on, please don't fuck this up. Yes.
Hey.
Get him.
Hell yeah! You effortlessly tug the fish towards you, and he seems pretty strong. He a fighter.
Yeah. Big boy.
And you reeled in a good distance, but it's still down in the water. It seems like it's directly beneath the boat after a bit of reeling.
Yeah.
Give me another strength check to see if you can pull it up out of the water.
Okay. Fuck yeah.
18. Let me. I'm gonna quickly look up images of fish just to see what I should have you.
Fish. I can't believe it, guys. We found a fishing minigame in D&D.
We found the fishing minigame.
We did it.
Hey.
They all said that it didn't exist.
We found
this
it.
was one indie game with no fishing minigame, but here we are.
We found
After all these years, I finally have all three.
What are you doing with the fish?
Eat it raw. Just...
What are you, like an old weather boy?
I would, because Talia's dragon is eyeing it with malicious intent.
Okay, well, first I want to know what kind of fish I get. And also the
As
size.
you, would this fish be in a river? I guess so. Kind of. Or, well, you're kind of
Want to
in a
know
pond.
fish? You can ask me, motherfucker. I live in these biomes in real life.
Real life Florida man.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say it's just a really big salmon, but I'm like, would that even be in a body of water like this?
No. Salmon's ocean fish, man.
Yeah.
No.
You
You could
here,
just say
hold
the
on.
catfish.
River, yeah.
They're
Yeah,
like
we could
I could say
catfish,
big
snapper.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's just another big catfish. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Easy
Hell
peasy.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
So you yank this thing up, and it's a
Must be a
similar sized catfish. And just like the previous one, as you're pulling this one up, as you yank it above the water line, it seems to float in the air, as it's kind of capable of like drifting around, but it seems disoriented from the sudden change in pressure. It's kind of wiggling in the air, not really able to orient itself properly.
First, you have to pull it out of the water, and then pull it out of the air.
It's just floating. It's like kind of like in space. It's just like in orbit.
Maya is eyeing this thing with malicious intent.
Good.
Wants a snack.
Snake.
This cat-sized dragon is staring at this thing like, I don't care if it's twice my size. I'm gonna eat it.
I will eat this some bitch.
I'm gonna eat it.
I'm gonna eat it.
Okay, so it's like floating air like in front of me, just like there.
Yeah,
Can
it's
I-
turned upside down, and its like stomach is swelling. It seems like the air bladder inside of it's like not accustomed, like it wasn't ready to be pulled up onto the surface.
Okay.
Is
Can
it
I-
pop?
Can I attempt to grab the fish by grabbing like the almost base of its tail? Not grabbing the fin, like if I were to say like the hand is the fin, I grab it by like the wrists.
Yeah,
Yeah. I like to
Give me
grab
a-
that.
give me a grapple check, which is just a strength check.
Athletics.
Athletics? Yeah,
Yeah,
you
grapple
use
is athletics.
Flex? Okay. Shit.
7. It's kind of slippery.
These
You
guys
reach
are
for it, and
bullshit.
it actually. Let me have it do a check. I rolled 1 beneath you.
Let's
Oh
call
my
it baby.
God.
It like felt a little slippery, but then like I got a grab and I was like, nah, you ain't getting away from me, bitch.
You
Plant down.
managed to get a grip on that fish.
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 How big is the fish? Like, is it
Yeah.
good or is it kind of shit?
It's another.
It's like a 2-foot long catfish. It's a little smaller than the one that was in the air already, but it's good
Okay.
size.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one actually. I'm just glad it didn't turn out to be a belt made of watches.
Mm-hmm.
What?
You know, a waste of time.
As John grabbing the fish, he just like, just cackles.
What are you gonna do with that fish, man?
I grip fish.
Because if you keep stalling,
After
this cat's gonna try and eat
after
your
like
fucking
a
fish.
after like a solid 6 seconds, you hear Henrik go, "Oh, a belt."
What?
Wasting time.
Charms looks at him like motherfucker, and you were supposed to be next in line.
You're supposed to be the chosen one.
The chosen
What?
one.
What? I was busy reading.
Is no one okay? Question, Little John, are you paying attention to the fish, or are you caught off by the joke?
No, I'm still gripping onto that fish.
No, yes, but are you like looking at it, or are you looking
Yes.
at Pepper or something?
I'm like focusing on fish, but I heard the jokes like funny.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Yeah. Why?
I think there's a hungry dragon sitting on Talia's shoulder.
Yeah, she's like crawled up on Talia's shoulder and is just looking at this fish. Like it's Maya's pupils are the sizes of dinner plates, and she's kind of hunched a little low on Talia's shoulder. And you can kind of see her little tail flicking slightly.
Okay, now how do I kill this fish?
I mean, you could let the dragon do it.
True. I mean, either I bonked the fish in the head, or I cut off its tail, like you're supposed to deal with the catfish.
You slit its throat, right? Not
doesn't-
throat, but like you slit underneath the head, right?
No.
How to dress a catfish? Google me, my friend.
So when you get a catfish, people just usually catch them, and then the proper way to handle them, well, to prepare them, you gotta cut off their tail to let the blood drain out. If not, it's gonna be like red meat. Again, you're asking
Yeah.
a southerner about
That's right.
catfish.
Hey, listen, I didn't get the fishing southerner. I got the Mexican food and music southerner, all right?
Fair enough. But I guess what I'll do is just bonk the head. Actually, no, I'll just grab my axe and just split its head. Just to make it easier.
You do that, giving the top of this catfish's head a crack with your axe.
Yeah.
And it goes limp immediately, since
Cool.
Can you imagine if I was like, roll initiative. That's stat block.
Roll initiative to
Roll
fight a
initiative.
fucking catfish, brother.
No, motherfucker Charms was joking when he said if we can't find a fish.
The fucking big fish from the first campaign comes back and like, this
No!
motherfucker again.
Makeshift right before we started was like, Yeah, we don't expect to have combat this session, so you probably don't need roll 20.
John.
Yeah.
The fish.
Suddenly it's like that one Feywild catfish that like Elric was breeding to keep the rod at bay.
Yeah,
like a
that
giant
was
walking
Streaky's
fish.
joke.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the one that like as if went off fucked off to fund.
The one somebody tried
yeah?
to choke with a chain.
That's how John tries to kill him. He tries to
No.
Anyway,
So you kill the fish with your axe,
Yeah.
right?
I kill the fish with the axe, it goes limp, and then I start preparing it by doing the thing of like cut out its tail and hanging it.
Mhm.
So then the blood drains off. So there's gonna be a pool of blood.
Where do you hang it?
Is there like any rope hanging around, or just like I'll just put it on like I don't know
There's
how this gun looks.
There seems to be like a fixed hook on the back of the gondola that probably gets used for exactly this because it's next to the fishing line.
Oh, okay, then I'll do that. I'll hook the fish onto that, let the blood drain out.
Do you turn your back on it?
He's silent.
It's literally the SpongeBob episode where he needs to keep looking at the flower, otherwise the horse eats it.
Do you turn your back on it?
You know,
Okay, let me rephrase the question. Does Little John turn his back on the fish?
That's the thing. Yeah, I know.
You.
I know because I know what's gonna happen, but like John would not know. He's just happy he got fish. So John happily obtaining his hard work of obtaining fish and seeing his proudest moment and seeing the fish getting drained of its blood to then be prepared to cook it. He walks away to be like, okay, kind of clean the blood off my hands.
You walk away.
In a gondola.
Well, not walking away, I'm assuming. You turn
like
away.
Yeah,
Might
turn away.
give me a stealth check.
She doesn't have stealth, but she does have dex.
Stealth.
Yeah,
that works.
Okay. Yeah.
Usually means that it doesn't have proficiency in it, so...
Well, it doesn't have anything. It has, let me see, proficiencies. Yeah, I don't have proficiencies in that shit.
That's Maya. If Maya doesn't have proficiency anywhere...
Yeah, Maya doesn't.
Yeah, so it's just Dex.
It's a 4.
And, Streaky, have Little John give me a perception check.
Perception. This better fucking work.
Pretty sure that's lower than your passive perception. It's a 4, but let me get a perception check.
Okay, just to be funny.
Yeah, because you are busy doing something.
Fuck you.
Yeah, you know that video of like the cat that like pretends to be like rolling around to like scratch its head, but like it's clearly opening one eye to make eye contact with like a slice of cake, and then like it like brings its paws up to like reach for it, and like the owner has to like grab it by the scruff, and it still kind of gets it. It's one of those moments you clearly see the little dragon like trying to get closer, and you're like, they think they're slick. They're about to lunge for this fish.
She like pads down from Talia's shoulder, just like, oh, looking around, like, oh yeah, hello Charms, like rubs up against Charms' leg, continues to pass him, goes past Little John, tries to avoid touching Little John's leg, and it's just like got real low to the ground and is like looking up at the fish, and she's real close to jumping before you get her.
Little John looks at the little shit, looks at the fish, looks at the little shit, looks at the fish.
The little shit is not looking at you. The little shit's about to pounce if you don't do something.
John realizing what's going on, he'll be like, "Oh, no," and like grabs it, like you would grab a cat by its midsection and picks it up. Yeah. I do that. It's like, nope.
Maya just immediately like goes limp in your arms, and it's like her head just back, and it's like, oh fuck, and she starts making little dragon noises.
Agility check to Maya to escape.
Oh god, you fucker, don't.
Nah, he grabbed her. She can't. I mean,
she could if she
wanted to, but she's like not gonna.
I have big hands. My one hand probably elapsed the entire fucking thing.
You pulled the swipe or no swiping.
Yeah.
Really just said to the cat. To the dragon.
I look at her and be like, no, this fish is not yet. It's not ready. You can have fish later. Give it a little pat and give it back to Talia.
Talia's Talia's munching on a snack bar, and then she looks up and goes,
Yeah.
"She tried to get the fish, didn't she?" And she'll just pick Talia, like grab her around the tummy and just like put her in her lap. No.
Yeah, it's fine. She can have some fish once it's ready, but not now.
Don't steal fish. That's so mean. Don't do that. And Maya just kind of like she's like watching you with narrowed eyes. Like you motherfucker. I was gonna get some fish.
Like the fucking chicken.
Yeah.
But I stare at Becky like, no.
She'll stay in Talia's lap, mostly because Talia keeps a hand on her back.
Okay, cool. John returns to the fish and gets into a right position where he can like see the fish, but also still fish more.
Nice.
Yeah. Just like, I'm gonna make sure that no more fuckers are gonna take my fish, and now I may get more fish. And I continue fishing for the entire trip.
Nice.
Jesus.
Fuck yeah.
Makeshift? There he is,
Yes.
okay. Making sure your internet didn't die.
Yeah.
And there's one more thing I can do while you're on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I might as well do this because it's a quiet moment. I think this is basically the only time that would make sense for this character to do this. Talia, as you're calming down Maya, having not accomplished their stealth mission.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
You feel a tap on your shoulder, like a light one, to get your attention.
She kind of like looks up, looks at Pepper, realizes Pepper's not the one that tapped her, looks over at Charms, Charms not the one that tapped her, looks over at Little John is... yeah, no, fuck you. Little John is not the one that tapped her, and she kind of just looks around, looks over at Henrik. Is he the one that tapped me?
No, it was Leverton. Henrik is still reading something.
So, yeah, she looks over, realizes it's Leverton, and she kind of jumps just a little bit. Hi.
And Leverton, like, points down towards the bag that you put the dragon book away in. And she, like, kind of does, like, a double point at it to sort of just, like, in there.
My bag? You want something out of my bag?
She turns her hand over to do, like, a gimme motion with her hand.
What do you want? My joke book?
She shakes her head side to side. My neighbor knocks on my wall.
Oof.
I believe she might be after the big one.
The
The dragon book.
You're gonna give it back, right?
She nods up and down.
Okay.
As you say, you're gonna give it back, right? Schultz holds out his hand
Wait, what?
for the magnifying glass.
Oh, right, sorry. And she'll put the magnifying glass back in his hand. Okay. And she'll go into her bag, pull out the dragon book, hand it to her, and she's eyeing the book with like, I really don't want to do this, but you asked and I'm not mean, so here.
Nice. You hand it over to them, and they kind of like gently run their finger along the seam of it to find a page, and they open it up, and it seems like they found the wrong page, and they're kind of carefully turning between the pages until they get closer to like one of the later pages in the book, and they see a page about a dragon that has a very striking appearance, but it does not have any documented portrait. Like, there's no drawing of it. There's just a concept art, essentially, of it.
Oh, okay.
And it's a page titled Opal Dragons.
The Opal Dragon? She kind of like looks up at Leverton. There's not really much on them. it's not an accurate depiction. And she kind of points to a little sentence down at the bottom of the page. And it's like, not accurate description, or just something that essentially is like, yeah, we don't know if this is actually what this looks like, but based on what we know, probably. And she kind of points to it and looks back at Laverton.
Laverton just seems transfixed by like the drawing of the dragon, and they seem kind of sad looking at it.
Have you seen one? I mean, she figured out that this was Laverton, right?
Yeah, I think in a previous session, somebody was just straight up like, yeah, that's Laverton.
Right. I mean, you're a god. Would make sense that you've seen one. Have you?
Did we tell Talia though?
Yeah, I think Henrik mentioned it.
So
yeah. Okay,
y'all said this is Laverton. She went, oh, that one. Okay.
And you all then hear something. And it's a voice that you have never heard before as you hear Laverton talk.
Oh.
And she says, after you ask her, have you seen one? She says, no such dragon exists in heaven or earth.
Do we hear her say it?
Yes, she speaks that out loud in the quiet calm of the locale. It's very quiet here, so it feels, you know, like when you say something quietly in like a theater.
Yeah, that's spooky.
It's got that effect.
Sharp fucking looks at Laverton like, you can speak, motherfucker.
Talia kind of looks at her, looks down at the book, and she doesn't seem fazed by the fact that Laverton's talking. I kind of thought that was the case, that they didn't really exist and they were just a legend.
All legends are born of a flake of truth.
It's true. You look sad. And she kind of like looks at Laverton.
And she speaks again and says, I've wanted to apologize to him for so many thousands of years.
To him? To the dragon?
She closes up the book and hands it back to you.
She'll take it and she's gonna look at the cover of the book and then look back at Laverton. If you want to, you can look at it whenever you want. You didn't damage the book, so I'm okay with letting you hold it.
She gives you a little nod.
Well,
you speak.
Talia kind of looks over at him like, what? Does she not normally do that?
Laverton hasn't uttered a single sentence. Until now.
Oh, that's why you look so surprised. And Talia will look back at Laverton. Sometimes that happens to me too, where I just don't want to talk. Or just don't have anything to say.
Not to mention the implication of a opal dragon having existed.
That too.
And then Henrik speaks up and goes, well, I do know that that book has gone through quite a few revisions, specifically translations. It's not unthinkable that, well, there could be dragons within it that don't actually exist, and that dragon isn't a dragon at all. I think that that's somehow found its way into this book, but I think that might be Gamarand.
Gamarand. May I roll a history or can I convince you? Okay. I want to roll
History would
something.
work. You can do religion.
Yeah, they're both the same. Fuck it.
Can I attempt?
11.
Can I attempt history as well, or is it too niche?
Yeah, you can attempt a history check.
Hiya!
Nice. You both actually succeed.
Oh
So-
shit! Let's go.
Hey.
Canonically,
Hell yeah.
it's only been about. I'm basing this specifically off the fact that we know the names of like Egyptian gods, and it's been like 1,000 years since they were created.
More than that.
More than that,
Yeah,
dude.
even more. And
Like
Gamarand
3,000.
was last commonly known about 600 years ago, I think. So
Oh shit. Okay.
it's still reasonable to think that people would know Gamarand's name,
Okay.
but not at all that they know Laverton's name. That would be a lot harder.
Yeah. Fair enough. Gamarand.
So yeah, you do recognize that name.
Okay. Well, tell me what it is.
You do realize it is the name of the god of knowledge, or at least an older name for the god of knowledge.
Isn't that what some people call the god of knowledge? Or at least an older name for him.
So that's why it sounds familiar. Huh.
Why would they depict Gamarand as a dragon, though?
People are multifaceted. They're not exactly all what they see in one version of things or another. I mean, how many different versions of the same religion exist out there?
True.
How many different versions of the same characters and, in this case, religious icons exist?
It's true.
Everyone's got their own interpretation, and it's not to say that any of them are wrong either. It's worth looking further into.
Well, that.
Dragons are also, as you know, quite well known to hoard certain things.
That's true. I guess a dragon wouldn't be that bad of a depiction for the god of knowledge. I mean, a lot of people tie animals to the gods, sometimes.
And when you say that, you can noticeably see that it looks like Laverton's face dropped just a little bit as you said that.
Do you not like the animal depictions?
And she speaks up again and says, I have harmed many people in all these years.
I mean, you're a god. Kind of comes with the territory, doesn't it? Sometimes you have to do hard things. Might hurt some people, but in the end, that's what gods do. They have to make hard decisions, even if it hurts some people.
I often say that you can't save everyone, but it's an even worse feeling to try and contend with when it's everyone. It's literally that you can't save everyone.
Oh.
Huh? You good over there, bud?
I just got a message from a friend with a really fucked up question.
Oh boy.
Oh my.
Oh boy.
Oh dear.
What the size of your peener, homie?
No.
No.
Oh my god.
It's good God in heaven. I want to know what it is later. Anyway, Talia kind of like
Angel's just got the hey dude, what's your cup size?
No, I got the.
Oh no. Anyway, oh my god. No.
Wasn't that a fucking like
No.
robot chicken skit?
Nope. We're not doing this. Anyway, Talia will.
Pineapple.
She'll. Talia will. She's not gonna touch Laverton because, ew, people. But she kind of like. She kind of reaches over, like she would pat her, but she hovers a bit and does like a motion as if she were patting like Laverton's shoulder, but she doesn't actually touch her.
Nice. You do that hover hand motion. And yeah, they just kind of they don't really change much. They just kind of keep looking ahead towards the direction of the gondola, as you can start to see that there is some structures, or at least some larger masses of vegetation coming into view.
Is that where we're supposed to be going?
Indeed it is. That there is the floating city of Parados.
Whoa.
And as like a little bit of the fog is starting to part, because this place do be real humid, but you can now clearly make out there's a lot of like warm orange light that almost seems bioluminescent from various heights. Seems that there's a lot of people who are keeping areas like well lit, even like it's kind of like mid afternoon at this point, but there's a lot of like artificial sources of light from here and there coming through the fog. And you can see what looks to be lots of structures that kind of punctuate the water. These large stone structures with lots of vegetation wrapping around them. And a bit further along, you can see a larger mass of stone structures that is most likely a kind of like center of a city. But there's a lot of sprawling like colors and various plant life going here and there, and it's hard to make out the details of everything from here. You can just tell from here that there's a lot of like buildings poking up from the water.
Whoa.
Cool as hell. Fuck yeah.
Beautiful.
That's amazing.
Do I know if the floating city is manufactured? Like, we made it float, and not, hey, these rocks are floating by themselves, we're gonna build on them.
Give me a history check or a investigation check.
You know what? I'll take that investigation. I'll not take that investigation. That's a 9.
So no.
You can also give me a history check as well. Like, both will work. You can just do 2.
It's not gonna be better.
Oh, is the 14 the history?
No, the first
that
thing was
like
for the name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the investigation is for the city.
Well, from the investigation, you can't tell if the stone naturally does this, or if it's something that was done to make a city. You're just not familiar with the chemistry of this place, or specifically these stone structures. You would have to ask somebody.
Damn it. Alright.
Anyway, as the gondola continues forward, you notice that there's a lot of vegetation that forms a lot of natural, like, you know, those like jungle bridges that are like a bunch of branches woven together that like grow into place over time. You see a lot of those and like a lot of bioluminescent lanterns kind of hanging around. It almost seems like as you're passing underneath a bunch of them, a few seem to be like maybe even like a restaurant. There's like a bunch of people sitting in one. But there's a lot of stuff that's arcing over the waters, and there's plenty of other gondolas that are kind of just like passing beneath things, going this way and that. But they're not like tightly packed like a traffic jam, but you can easily spot like 3 other gondolas at any given time within eyesight. And as you're passing underneath all of this stuff, the guy who's been smuggling you in here turns over his shoulder and speaks quietly to all of you and goes, "All right, listen, everybody. Just pretend you've been on to her. Act natural."
Of course.
Continues to fish.
Talia makes like a face that's like, oh fuck, okay.
Normal.
Charms is gonna just start observing the scenery.
You do that.
Hold on, I'm
And
gonna do
yeah.
real quick. Let me see how well I act normal. Not very well. That's a 6. Talia like sits in the boat, stares directly ahead, and tries not to look like she's about to shit herself. And this is apparently what she thinks normal looks like.
He's gonna place a hand on your shoulder and just say, "You could just go ahead and read your book."
Okay, yep. And she'll reach back into her bag, pull the book out, and start reading again. Like, oh, thank fuck. Like, oh, I don't have to be normal.
Oh, thank fuck. I wasn't good at it anyway.
Pretty much, yeah.
We love that for
And
unmasking girly.
as he's kind of like maneuvering his way through this like undergrowth, he comes up towards one of the stone structures and just kind of maneuvers the gondola to position its side up against what seems to be an entryway to like step onto the stairs and up onto the stone structure.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "All right, folks, end of the line. Happy doing business with you."
Thank you.
Now makeshift.
Goodbye.
Before
Yes.
we get off this gondola, how much fish did I catch?
Oh my god.
I'll say you
I
caught
think-
2 more catfish. It was a good day.
Okay.
Now, here's my question about that.
Yes.
As we get off the boat rather, are there any like, top-looking, enforcer-looking people, maybe local government officials hanging around in the harbor area that we've just docked at?
Yes, you can see a few people who look like they're wearing armor.
I'm waiting for someone to whip out fishing regulation.
Oh god damn it!
I'm waiting
You're
for
not
someone
doing
to
that on
bring
me.
over- I'm waiting for someone to bring over like one of those fish measuring calipers.
Oh, you little bitch! No, don't do that to me. I worked hard for those fish. I defended it from a fucking dragon cat. Do not take away my fucking fish, man.
Wow.
Yeah, no, they're not gonna think much of a dude carrying like 3 catfish.
Yeah.
Hell
Well, I'm
yeah.
gonna leave one
Cool.
for the guy just because he did carry us. So like, I leave him 1 fish.
I want Maya to steal from the fucking guy.
I'm a pescatarian. Wait, no, that means I can't eat fish. Yeah, cool. All right, thanks.
Pescatarian is just vegan. Fucking eat fish. Basically.
It's a new one. We
And,
worship fish.
Now that you've all arrived into the city, would everybody like to go on a pee break?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Piss break. Let's
Piss,
go,
piss,
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 skills.
Piss forever.
Piss, 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 piss.
Whoa. You're so lucky. You were so
I know how
lucky.
to time these things.
Yeah,
You
you
really do.
Sorry, folks. Icarus here is flying close to the sun.
What do you mean?
It's genuinely why shortly before we went live, I was saying something and I was like, and just to make sure, before we go live, don't you dare go live while I'm saying this. 'Cause I know how things go. I'm just like making sure there's no mistakes.
No, that was good.
Yeah.
Either way, Dingus over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's play the fucking game.
Anyway,
We
so
arrived in
you all
Parados.
arrive. Yeah, you arrive in Parados, and this structure in front of you. It seems it has this kind of brutalist style to it, where it seems like there's these primary pillars along the outside of like this massive boulder, and it seems like the interior was carved out to be kind of this this like shopping center. It almost looks like there's a lot of stuff set up here, but from the edges of it, there's a lot of those like living like tree bridges that branch off into other things.
Talia has put her book away and is now not spinning like Noom like a top like Beyblade, but she's like turning in a circle to look at everything.
You're like that girl in like the small town girl going to New York, like, whoa, I'm finally here.
Every scene in a movie set in New York. Also,
Yeah.
no one was thinking that until you said that, and now I'm thinking it. Now I'm thinking of Beyblade Talia.
Let it rip.
No one was fucking thinking it, and now we're all thinking it.
You're welcome.
Beyblade, let it rip.
Beyblade.
I was picturing her on one of those little Beyblade launches.
Oh my god. Anyway.
No, the horns can stick in.
Yeah.
God damn it. Anyway.
Like in the little dish, sparking every time she touches anything.
I hate this so much. Makeshift.
You started.
What else?
What else makeshift?
So you see just kind of a bustling, well, vaguely bustling market around you. It's not quite like a heavy shopping center, but it looks like a lot of stuff is out and on display in areas like this. It's probably a bit different over in like the live growth areas, but it seems like these stone structures are big business centers.
Mm-hmm.
This place is huge.
He's made a CBD.
What?
What?
Like Central Business District?
Oh.
Not cannabis.
Bad. Anywho.
So he just doesn't say his name, but he turns and looks at him. Any ideas on how to find our elusive friend?
Well, quite frankly, I'm not completely certain. I've heard that he usually comes out during large festivals, but we'd have to ask somebody. Here, how about that individual? And Henrik gestures over to what looks to be a blacksmith, who's it seems like he has a lot of stuff that's built into the stone on the far side of this like stone structure that you're on. So he's only like, I don't know, he's like a 1 minute walk away from where you're standing.
All right.
Talia's gonna stick to Pepper's side for now.
Yes, child, I am your mother now.
Sharms will begin to approach, opening a with a nice comment about the craftsmanship that he has the eye for to give. You know, a little insider, wink nudge, like, yeah, I know what you're doing this for. It's nice.
You see this dude like glance up. He's only like He's a pretty short dude. He's like, or shorter, but he glances up, and he's a human, by the way, and looks at you talking to him, and just goes, thanks. Who are you?
Charms. It's a pleasure to meet you. I just blew in, and I had a rather innocuous question.
Oh yeah, and he like puffs out some smoke, and turns to pick something up out of the forge, and it looks like he's working on some piece of metal. What's the question?
There wouldn't happen to be any festival around the corner.
Well, in this area, there's basically always festivals going on. Let me think. 1 second. And yeah, smacks away at a piece of metal for like a good 10 strikes, and it's pretty loud. Looks at it for a
Talia
second as it's starting to
flinches.
lose its clothes. And he then like jams it back into some coals behind him, and he starts pumping air into his forge. Let me think. I think there's a festival coming up in about a month.
A month, you say? I see. Well, while I'm still here, he's going to take out one of his bullets and sort of hand it over to him. I wouldn't happen. I am starting to run low on my supply of these. You wouldn't mind if I came by and borrowed the forge, just the forge. I have my own tools.
Sure. You can rent a little bit of time.
Wonderful. I'll be by tomorrow sometime.
All right.
Best of luck. And he thinks for a moment, but just thank you for your time. Decides to not comment on his work.
Word.
Smart decision.
Yep. And he'll deliver the information about, there's gonna be, apparently there's celebrations, often, but the next one he thinks of is in a month.
Did you all walk over with him? Were you like nearby?
I fucking hope so. Pepper, did we follow him?
Oh yeah, because you said the sound hurt your ears.
Yeah.
I just assumed you were all like not too far away.
I think Pepper, noticing Talia's discomfort, would actually try and like segue somewhere else with her. And I think the Pepper, well, she knows what she wants. She's in a city. What is she going to go for if not a baked good? Talia, let's go.
That's true.
Let's go find something to eat.
Should we not wait for? And she kind of like turns, points at Charms, looks at her for a second.
The sound hurt your ears, right?
I mean, a bit.
The sound's hurting my ears too. Let's go get something to eat.
He's splitting off the. And she's like, fuck, I really want a pastry, but is that really smart? Sure. And she'll turn and she'll follow Pepper.
Listen, you can stand there and exist and be around, all the business going on and not be able to do anything with it. Or you can get yourself a nice little baked good and wait for the people who are already going to do the same thing they're going to do, whether we stay there or not, do what they're going to do. Nothing changes. Aside from now, we get to be fed with some, I don't know, maybe some delectable pastry, maybe a nice local specialty. She's walking as she's talking.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something else. Who knows what we'll find? Do you have any food sensitivities or nah?
I don't like nuts.
Okay, you don't like nuts. There we go.
Mm-mm.
I'll keep that in mind.
Texture's funky. I'm not allergic though.
Mm.
So if I accidentally eat something that has the nuts in it, that's fine. I'm not gonna die. But I don't like eating raw nuts. They taste like wood.
Gotcha. That's okay. I'm kind of like that with onion and stuff like that. Really bad with the texture. Makes me gag a little bit. Only sometimes, but enough.
You good?
Memes.
Oh no. Oh no.
I fixed it.
My god.
Funny.
Thank you.
All right. But yeah.
So we're gonna go on our little adventure. Makeshift. Do we find anything? What sort of food options do we find? Do we find a little coffee shop, a little quaint little coffee shop, maybe with a bookshelf?
Yeah, you find a. You don't find a coffee shop, but you do find a place that its specialty seems to be local fruits and making like desserts out of that.
Ooh.
It's a building that's kind of positioned on the edge where the water is, and you can see through like a glass window on the front. There seems to be like a water wheel rolling in the back.
Ooh.
Like inside the actual shop itself, it's part of their gimmick.
Yeah. Should we try it in there? Looks pretty fun.
Sure.
Yeah, fantastic. Let's go.
Let's go get ourselves a little treat.
Yeah.
Word. I'm gonna call this group A. Is anybody else with you buying baked goods?
I wanted to ask
Yeah.
because that conversation was not long. How far behind would I be if after the conversation I was able to start following them?
Yeah, you could probably start following them. They're probably still just like in eye shot because this stone platform you're on, it isn't particularly big. It only takes like a minute to walk along one edge. So there's only a few shops that are built into the building, so you can still see them by the time you stop talking with the blacksmith.
All right. Well, I don't think you need to make groups out of anything because he's just gonna start gonna catch up to them.
Oh, word.
God damn it, women! Come back here!
Exactly!
Fucking women.
Because it's not like he said, oh yeah, there's gonna be a festival tomorrow. No, like it's a month. We need to start planning shit. Get back here! We need to plan!
It's like, yay, adventure! Get back here!
While they're looking at the baked goods and stuff like that, Pepper just pipes up with, I actually used to work in a like fruit juice shop.
Fruit juice?
Yeah.
They have a shop just for fruit juice?
like fruit juices, smoothies, that sort of stuff.
What's a smoothie?
Well, it's like fruit juice but colder, sometimes with yogurt and stuff in it. Yeah. I mean, they did end up firing me from that juice shop. I couldn't concentrate.
It takes her like a couple minutes. She nods like, oh yeah, like I get that. And then she's looking at a pastry and she's looking at another pastry and then she stops and like looks up as if it's dawning on her.
It's like a face of dawning horror.
Yeah. Cons.
Yeah,
and she's just fucking giggling in the middle of this shop.
As Talia does that, Pepper, like, she goes from looking completely serious and like looking at other stuff to just slowly smiling more and more. Yeah, puns.
Hell yeah. This charms
I like
you, the
that one,
stupid
that
ass
was good.
joke.
I'm a minute behind you guys.
Sad.
No.
Yeah.
Sad.
He walks in on us laughing.
You know what? I don't know pastries. Hold on.
I'm very surprised no shop owners being like, why do you have this fish around my baked goods?
I mean, you have fish. There is also a child with a very weird-looking dragon on its shoulder.
We're an odd group here.
We are really an odd group. There is no human-looking anything in our group. We are all a pack of weirdos.
Things.
Henrik, hello.
I was gonna say it's
He
like,
doesn't count. He's a nerd.
yeah, we live on a world where it's like there's
Nerds are not human.
yeah, we live in a world where there's places like Vestia and stuff like that. But also on the other hand of that, most people never travel that far. Most people don't like leave their direct sphere of influence. It's kind of like knowing that there's a monument on the other side of your continent and just never having seen it. You know.
Hmm.
So I guess I was gonna say that it's it can't be that unusual. People see stuff in the cities all the time, but then like no, it actually would be, wouldn't it? Now that I think about it, it's not really much like that out this way, aside from the Dragon University.
Yeah.
Somebody give me a pastry that this child could eat.
I
don't know
pastries. Tarts.
Lattice.
Like strawberry tart.
You notice that there seems to be these various like rolls that are like multiple different colors, like almost like a full spectrum of a rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
And above them, there's like little drawings of various fruits, plenty of which you saw in the water along the way here. This is one like almost like neon blue looking one, and next to it there's another one that's like this kind of deep purple color, almost like wine. Then like a cherry red looking one, and a very soft pink colored one that reminds you of the lotus flower.
She's like looking between all the pastries, and like as time goes on, her eyes get wider, and she looks like she's struggling to like. There's so many choices.
Pepper leans in to ask Talia, hey, have you decided on anything yet? Because I know what I want.
No.
Sharp steps inside. Do you know what I want? The capability to relax like you can.
She turns around and looks at you, and she's got like this wide-eyed look, and her ears are down. She's like, "Do I look
He's
relaxed?"
not looking at you. He's looking at Pepper.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Oh, hello. Yes. Sorry, my internet got out there. What's up? What's up, James?
A short conversation, and you wander off.
You seem to have it handled. Speaking of having it handled, those little hexagonal ones, the little lattices with the jam and stuff, can I grab a couple of those?
Why, certainly. Here you go.
Yeah, thank you very much. Much appreciated. Have you picked what you wanted, Talia?
I don't know. There's a lot of
I'll tell you
choices, and I don't know what they taste like.
You have one of these, and she pulls out of this of the bag that she's been given by the baker. These little hexagonal, like lattice sort of pastries, and inside it you can see there's a little bit of yellow, but most of it's this purple, sort of like dark purple berry jam.
Mm-hmm.
She hands you one of those, says, "You try one of those. It'll be a bit sweet, but it'll be quite nice. I think you'll like the custard and the jam flavor there." Jumps.
Okay.
We have to eat at some point, man. Come on, you gotta take this seriously.
Do you not
I'm
have
being
rations?
a Talitarian. I do have rations. I'm also a fairy who's got somewhat insectoid wings and stuff like that. Have you considered that maybe fresh fruit is a part of my diet?
There are dried fruits. That works just as well, no?
And what would you know about that, buddy?
I know that you should have the resilience to withstand a short conversation before hunger consumes you.
It was the boat ride, actually, but yeah, that's fair enough.
Talia looks really uncomfortable, and she's gonna go find Little John and stand by him.
I'm like at a distance,
It's
just
only-
looking at the pastries as well. That's like,
I'm gonna go stand by you. You're making. They're
The
fighting.
charms-
I don't want to stand by them.
Say what you will, Charms. You've got to admit, those conversations usually go for a lot longer, and there wasn't exactly much I could do.
You could have told where you were going.
I didn't know where I was going yet. I didn't find it.
I feel like there's some kind of proverb about splitting apart and never being found again.
Well, you know what? I always prefer
Nonetheless.
people who are doing it for passions, not professions.
Nonetheless, I'll have one of those. He points at one of the bakeries. Not bakeries.
The rest
what is
of
the
these
word?
Are, the
Pastries.
rest of these are for me.
Pastries. Thank
got-
you.
I got a spare one for Talia. I might just get you to get some of your own. I need these.
That's why I'm getting my own.
Oh, good. Oh, cool. On you go then.
The guy manning the desk, he picks up the thing he pointed at and goes, "And here you go, sir."
How much will it be for the entirety of it all?
2 copper a pop.
He like stops for half a second when he comes to the realization, maybe I have been a bit too rich lately. as he considers taking out a gold coin.
Oh, you fuck. You rich piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it.
I'm here just a simple poor boy with this fish. This motherfucker has a gold coin.
Does Pepper
He's
see you
gonna-
start to grab out this gold coin?
You see him think, and then he asks the person, "How many silver pieces do you have?"
You mean in the register?
Yes.
I'm a bit perplexed by the question.
He's gonna take out a gold coin.
Oh, you want change? I thought you were thinking of robbing me.
Sharp speaks to himself. Maybe later.
Bruh.
Charms. That's really good for city
Maybe.
prices.
The
But yes,
amount
he can change it. He can change a gold piece.
yeah.
He's like, Charles is like showing up to like a 7-Eleven with a $100 bill to pay for like a bag of chips.
He is.
That's what it
He
feels like.
absolutely is.
Yeah,
It's not even- it's not even that.
100%.
He's showing up. He's showing up to like the shop equivalent of a market stand with
Yeah.
a $100 bill and trying to buy an apple.
Yeah. Fucking rich piece of shit. Fuck
Yes,
you.
he's a shop owner.
Go fuck yourself.
How much could bananas cost? $20?
Oh my god.
Look, you don't
Sure.
make things like Archimedes or Rick Shades, and you're not rich selling toys like that.
I'm a simple man with
True.
overalls and fish hanging out from the side of his hips. What do you expect me?
Yeah, he'll pay for it all, and as we sit down and have a snack, he's going to relay the information and continue by saying, "I feel like a month's timetable is one stretch too far. Though I may be patient, these are different circumstances. So, though he might show up for festivals, I think we need to start seeing what threads we can't find.
Well,
Did you say that while you're in the shop?
Yes, like he's being vague on purpose because, well, I don't know what his general liking is here.
General liking.
So general liking.
What?
Charms doesn't know how well liked Al Emir is. He just knows that he's well hidden. And
as you say that out loud, the shopkeep overhears you and goes, "Oh, you talking about the life of the party, Alamir?"
Alamir nuts.
Talia
No, wait, no,
snickers like he heard you.
Just like
What a-
quietly, like
what
just
a
like saying this sort of to
insightful
herself,
person.
not at the fucking counter. She's just like, Alamir's nuts? No, Alamir's nuts. There you go.
What? No.
I just have to say, what a fucking insightful person to piece that together from that alone.
Yeah, when you say
Yeah,
when you
he's
talk
so
about they show up during festivals, he's like, oh, they must be talking about the dragon that shows up during festivals.
That cool guy.
And
Dragon,
he says that and goes, well, if you're wondering how to get him to appear, well, if you throw a good enough party, he might just show up.
Look,
He
right here,
Turns
6
to
times.
Pepper.
Party?
Mhm. Oh, you want me to? Oh, you want me to do this?
You seem like the type.
Do I?
Are you not?
'Cause- I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just kind of. I guess I hadn't really thought about it, you know? I guess so. Yeah. Yeah, sure.
If this had been back home, I know someone who could have taken care of things, but he just motions around. They don't exactly live here. So, tell us, Pepper, how does one throw a party?
Well, you need logistics sorted out first. You need all the supplies requisite of throwing a nice party. You want to throw a rager, I suppose, rather than like a nice subtle dinner party or something like that. I could whip something up. Not without expense, but I could whip something up.
If it's logistics, I can probably work something out.
Talia looks like she wants to crawl under the table.
So,
He looks at her
There'll
and
be-
goes,
there'll be 3 things required: supplies, entertainment, which I mean I can provide part of, but still, and
locale.
guests. Oh, locale. If you have enough people to show up, who fucking cares? But it's not a bad idea to consider in logistics either. We don't just need to have this party organized and built and ready to go. We need to get word around too. We need to make this a circulated thing. We can do that. We can do that.
It might take some time. And there's also the issue of funding.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gold for a pastry.
I might be a shop owner. I might have a bit much on hand in the wrong coinage. But my wealth is not limitless. It's also tied up in more things than liquid gold.
then start selling.
My shop is back. He just points in the direction of fucking Angel's forgot the name.
Azure Moon Academy.
No, yes, but what's the city name of that place?
It's just called the Azure Moon Academy. Like the city surrounding it is just that.
Okay, yeah. My shop is back home in the Azure Moon Academy. Can't really sell what I can't have access to. And being a shop owner isn't a hoard of money.
I know, I just... Do we want the logistics done for this or not? We need some people to figure out the way to get this actually operated. We need the others to do the rest. You know how it is.
Are we sure there isn't another way we can get this done? Like, I don't know, maybe somebody else is throwing a party?
Yeah, I suppose we can always hijack someone else's. I didn't think about that. So what happens when you pitch a question so narrowly to me? No, cool, good idea.
It's a good idea. It is a good idea.
Alright, let's find a party to hijack.
We just need to find a large enough party to then continue to hype up.
Yeah, oh, it just looks like she wants to disappear.
Hang on, easy thing. Hey, turning to the baker, are there any, big old local events going on at the moment?
Well, there's nothing too major until the end of the month. But there is an amphitheater nearby that people do enjoy using and throwing parties at occasionally. There should be a few get-togethers here and there.
Public amphitheater?
Indeed. Free for anybody to use.
Convenient. Thank you very much. Alright, well that's one problem solved. Let's just start, I don't know, doing flyers or something. Let's get cracking. Come on. Come on.
Talia will reluctantly stand up and follow.
We should also find a place to sleep for the night.
That would be a good idea.
Alright, well, let's do it. Let's go find somewhere to sleep and or the amphitheater. Whichever one hits us in the face first.
Nice.
I'm
gonna say you pretty easily find just like an inn to stay at. It's a cool looking place. It uses like some like I was gonna say it uses some starfish for like stars on it, but I was like, no, there wouldn't be starfish in this area. It has like an aquatic theme to it, pretty obviously, and it's nearby the water, but it's cozy enough for the lot of you.
Nice.
Aside from, also, let me take a look at the current time we're at.
Do they allow pets?
Okay. Yes, they allow pets.
Talia's just holding Maya like around the middle, and Maya's got like both paws over her arms. Derpy little look on the dragon face.
Listen, if we
disgrace to all dragons.
If we had to sneak her in, hide in the overalls.
Fair.
Yes.
You're wearing something underneath the overalls, right?
Yeah, he's got a shirt.
Yeah, like a shirt. Yeah, look at my character. I have a shirt.
No. That's not what I asked.
You're wearing underwear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. He ain't going commando.
Okay, I was like, I'm not joking. I took a hot minute to realize what you said. I was like, oh, God, I am John. God, I'm stupid.
Right. So we find an inn. I'm assuming we just like put our shit down and then go back out to find the amphitheater. Guys?
Yeah, you could do that.
Guys?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
I have a
You'll
question.
put your stuff down?
How late in the evening is it?
It's getting close to sunset. It's probably
Okay,
like
cool.
it's probably like 7:30, 8 p.m. on that time.
So we got to start fishing for
That's
resources and insight. Start telling
Fishing,
people.
you say?
Start spreading the word.
No.
No. Okay.
This is an aquatic theme.
I think
Maybe they might have some fish.
so. I think the plan for today.
Mhm.
Today and tomorrow we can go and start gathering the supplies that we need, and the other group needs to be spreading the word. Talia, I know that you don't particularly want to do the spreading the word. Do you want to do help getting the supplies, that sort of thing? Although, mind you are 14, you might have trouble getting alcohol.
I can fetch the supplies.
Cool.
I'm not
You-
as proficient in spreading the word, as it were.
Alrighty. Well, in that case, I'll take the lead on spreading the word.
I don't want to
Talia,
talk to people.
you wanna-
You don't
Okay.
need to worry. I'll do the talking.
You don't need to if you don't want to.
I mean, either way, they'll be talking to people involved. So really, it's just who do you want to hang out with between them doing the tasks they're gonna do.
The one that involves less talking to strangers.
That would be
Alright.
the supplies, I believe.
Then I'm following you.
Off you pop then. That's all good. Well, in that case, Little John, I'll get you to come with me and try and help me with this socializing, spreading the word, and all that business.
Okay, I'll try. I've never really done anything like this, but okay.
No, that's okay. It's more just so that neither one of us is standing on our own. I mean, you can go do the supplies thing if you want. I can take care of this myself.
Are you sure? Are you sure you're gonna do this by
Yeah, that's
yourself?
okay. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, look, I am a solo act anyway.
Okay.
If
I guess.
I'm gonna be one of the entertainers we put down as the billing, then I might as well take care of it myself.
Yeah, I mean, Charles is probably gonna be busy carrying all the gold he has, so I guess we need an extra hand to hold the supplies.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell if that was a dig or not.
He
I'll let
slowly
you find out.
turns and looks at both of you and say, "If you're broke, you can just say it. It's fine."
I'm
Yes,
not broke.
Mr. Patriots. Was it a gold coin?
He is broke. I'm not broke.
I bet that. That's why I got fish.
That's true. That's a good
Yeah.
point. That's why you got
I got fish.
So he's not broke.
Yeah.
What is happening
Yeah.
right now?
I wish I knew.
You know what, Chumps? Sometimes your disposition towards our good colleague here upsets me.
What?
In what way? I've had nothing but
So rude.
respect for John and his absolute willingness to go face to face with our enemy. It's not something
so rude.
I can do.
Oh, well, I
Such a good
appreciate
guy.
that. You're much nicer than you like to admit to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, either way, if you'll want to travel together, I'll go take care of spreading the word then.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Spread that
Alright,
good
let's
word.
get cracking.
Yeah.
Nice.
Alright.
Cracking these nuts?
Ayo.
Heyo, better
Anyway.
not be. That'll hurt.
Talia, say that, are you?
No, that was me. That's all me.
Okay.
The party is all splitting up. What groups do you form as you do this?
I think me and Little John are following Charms in getting the supplies.
I have 2 ducklings.
You do.
Yes.
I mean,
Well, you have a big
technically
duck.
2.5 if you count the dragon cat.
4 if I count the fish.
Fish.
Excuse me, they're 2 fish.
Yeah, they're worth like some weird half number.
One fourth a fish.
1/4 a fish. Wait, when did the
1/4 a
fish get
fish.
Did Ms. Maja eat one of the fish?
Anyway, we're going with him. Apparently, Pepper's going off on her own.
My mind's sidetracked.
I am indeed.
Just a bit.
Well, where's Henrik going?
Yeah, where's Henrik going?
Yeah.
Where's Henrik?
Henrik?
Where's our NPC?
He'll probably
Where's
stay
Laterne?
inside the inn and do some more reading.
Fucking nerd.
Fucking dude. Gonna do a cool party. This dude's gonna stay in the books.
He's gonna stay in the inn. He's gonna stay in.
How else
The
would Chad
inn.
notice him?
Either way,
And-
yeah, let's go. Come on.
So one more time, what was the groups?
Me, Little John, Charms. We're getting supplies.
Okay.
Pepper by herself, spreading word.
Alright. And so I'll split those into group A and B. I only have like one more thing prepped in my notes. Anything aside from that would just be like any improv you guys want to do with your characters at this point.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna
Not
start
tonight.
with the Pepper group because that's the side I don't have anything planned for.
Just me.
Yeah. So Pepper, while you're going out to spread the word, is there any specific way you want to spread the word?
She is first of all just gonna try walking around the square, see what's going on, see if there's any like folks, like you see people do with like fringe festivals and stuff like that where they're handing out flyers. She's gonna try and look for what she would describe as centers of artistic interest.
God damn it,
For
she's going to the
eventually
gay club
realizing-
again.
She is, needless to say, going to the gay club again. So that's what she's gonna do. She's gonna go around to the bars and such and try and figure out where is her best place to maybe start getting information for her to spread information, and for her to maybe start sneaking things into the people who would actually go clubbing and do things like that.
Nice. As you're
I mean, who's gonna go to a party? Who's gonna be more enthusiastic about going to a party than someone who is in a party culture?
Yeah. So as you make your way off of the like stone platform building and into the live growth, and you find that there's much more like spaces akin to like restaurants and bars. And you find a good number of bars that are similarly themed around the local delicacies. And you see a lot of people, sitting around shooting the shit, sitting at or they're like standing at those like standing table things or bar tables.
Oh yeah.
And as you go around to those places, you see an okay variety of people. It seems like 50% of the population here is just human, whereas the other 50% is like miscellaneous various races. But in general, it doesn't seem like there's too much of a cultural divide. It just seems like you're tending to see humans and then lots of other groups in this area. And as you go around spreading the word, do you like target any particular groups?
Well, she is gonna like go out to places where she's like seeing like club environments and stuff like that happening, where she's maybe hearing live music coming from, where there's already performers and what have you. Maybe even seeing if those performers want to go to something like this, because I mean, the sort of people who tend to make those environments exist are also the sort of people who've made them because they like them themselves. That's her thoughts to it anyway.
Yeah, as you go around these places waiting for people who are like strumming on a guitar to like take a break and sip some water or like eat something, you find a good number of people who you're just like, hey, hang out at the amphitheater tonight. And they're like, yeah, sure. A lot of people here just kind of go with the flow, as it were.
Yeah.
And you even pass by the amphitheater that you heard about at one point. And you did already see that there's like a handful of people who were just like hanging out, sitting there and like talking while they like watch some
Just
birds.
like loitering.
Yeah. But there wasn't like a party going on yet. It just seems like a popular place for people to just sit down and chat. So you did see that, and you already.
We're gonna do the party. Like we're gonna do it tomorrow, right?
If you said tomorrow, then yeah, tomorrow.
Cool.
Yeah, we need some time to get the logistics working here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking, right? Like that was my assumption already because we need time to do it.
Indeed.
Yeah, so she's gonna start. Yeah, she's gonna start chatting to them and be like, "Hey, y'all should come down here tomorrow night. It's meant to be a big old sort of rager on, you know." By the way, do you know what the good live music venues are around here?
And are you talking to like one musician or like two people?
She's like just shooting the shit, chatting to a couple of different groups and what have you on and off.
Yeah, as you have those kinds of conversations, they point you in the right direction. There was like one person who they seemed like a little rude, but it was like one of those conversations where it's like it seems like they probably thought you were trying to like sell them something, and they're like, "Hey, leave me alone."
Yeah,
One of those situations. But aside from that, everybody seemed to just be like, "Oh, cool, party going on. Yeah, yes, I'm down."
Yeah. By the way, that live music thing. Do you know anywhere I could go to like see some stuff? Maybe is there an open mic on something like that? I'm a bard. I'm doing a bit of traveling. I'm just looking to maybe see if there's anything on around that I could participate in as much as see myself.
A musician makes a point of telling you like, "Oh yeah, I tend to perform like at a nearby bar. It's a pretty good spot for it, but aside from that, really just the amphitheaters is where you can do that. A lot of people tend to gather there just to like hang out, and they don't really mind if you just like stand up on the stage and read some poetry or sing something. If people didn't want to hear that, they'd sit further back or they wouldn't go to an amphitheater. So usually they're fine to just like lend an ear while they chat with a friend.
Good stuff. Good to know. Thank you very much. With that, she's going to pull out of seemingly nowhere a couple of her instruments, size them up in her hands before trying to pick which one she wants to use.
Lol. You do that?
Did you want to cut back to the other group, or did you want to stay with me?
Yeah, that's basically all there is to do with the spreading the word. And so anyway, the second group, as you start making your way away from the inn, and you're just like walking down the street looking for where to get supplies, like some nice alcohol or something.
Yep.
You notice there is two guards who are like walking in the opposite direction of you, and they're like waving you down real quick. And it seems like one of them has this look on their face of like it's like that look that like a police officer gives you when they're telling you like slow down your car, and they're giving you this like motion of like whoa, stop, hang on.
Charms. All right, yeah. Charm. We slow down. We stop our motion, our walking.
They both don't have on like full armor. They just have on like a helmet. They're carrying a bill hook each, and they've got like cloth armor on though. That's like nice and colorful. And they're mainly focused. They're mainly looking up at Lil John, and they're saying, "Sir, do you have a reason to be carrying around an axe like that?"
Yeah, I chop wood. I'm a lumberman.
They glance at each other. Well, we don't exactly recognize you, and there isn't exactly much of a lumber industry in this area. So, do you want to try again and not lie to us this time?
Fuck.
Charms will sort of approach and say, "It's a dangerous world we live in, and a hired muscle comes in many different shapes and forms. I'm an old man, you see. I'm not like I used to be. Especially walking with a youngin." He sort of motions to to Talia.
She kind of looks at him for a second.
He might not be the brightest, but he is strong. And the axe is only used if our life is threatened. otherwise. He just motions to his fists, which I can assume is like, a working man's hand. Rough, a small scar here or there, but not smooth in any way.
The second guard goes, all right, that's all well and good, but for any two-handed weaponry, there is strict regulations around them. There's plenty of one-handed options. Most knives are permitted, but if you're going to have something that looks to be a wood-splitting axe, kind of odd-looking, but rules are rules. If it's two-handed and it can't be a weapon, it can't really just be toted around freely unless you're a guard. And as they're finishing up saying that, a voice calls from like behind the guards, and you see the blacksmith from before over their shoulder going, "Hey, you two, cut the crap." They both look over their shoulder at him. "Oh, Robert, what's the problem?" "Nah, don't worry. That guy, he was bringing that axe to me for repairs. I know him." The guards look at each other. They glance over at Little John. They give a shrug. They continue walking.
Thank fucking God.
A successful patrol to you two.
They give you a little like tip of the cap and keep walking.
Charms will approach the blacksmith and give his thanks. That was very kind of you.
Don't mention it. Although I do have a bit of a selfish reason. See, I'm actually a bit interested in that axe he's carrying.
Oh.
Here, follow me back to my forge. I noticed this, but you walked off before I could say something.
Oh, okay.
Also, his forge is only like a minute away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go back. Sure. Right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just following y'all right now.
Yeah, I followed a nice man that let me keep my axe.
You do that, and you follow him back to his forge, and he motions to you, Little John, to like step forward, and he holds out both his hands as if he's like, hand it over.
Fork the goods.
Reverse robbery.
Yeah.
I pull out my axe and give it to him, and it's like, okay, and keeps like an eye on me. It's like, this motherfucker better not steal it.
He like holds it in that way to like check the sharpness and how straight it is.
Mm-hmm.
He like looks at the face of it and goes, "Yep, I recognize this. I know those engravings." And he walks behind himself to go find some tool and picks it up. He's got this hammer that kind of looks like this kind of purplish geode that's like tied to like a wooden handle the way other hammers are, but he's basically that's like purple crystal hammer. It's weird looking.
Mm-hmm.
And he carefully like brings it down to smite the face of the axe, and that kind of purple color surges through the metal, but not through the wood. And it, as he does that, you see that not only does the actual face of the axe, there's like these lines, almost like veins, that kind of extend beyond the face of it, but also to the backside of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of like shows a second axe head pointing out the back of it. Yep. You see that there?
Mm-hmm.
Some special stuff. You see, an axe like this is actually designed to be swung backwards at certain people. And he like fiddles with the handle for a moment. He's like, I think it might be and he like gives it a twist for a moment, and it kind of like twists the handle and it flips it around such that the handle like straightens out and it looks a little bit more like a battle axe now.
Yeah.
And then you can see like that purple color kind of glow through the whole handle of the axe as well. Yep. That's a mighty fine axe there, John.
I didn't know what to do that. What? Huh?
Well, yeah. You see, the front end, the metal part, is just gonna hurt regular things.
Mm-hmm.
Back end can cut into. It like looks over your shoulder and around. Well, a weapon like this is capable of cutting into people's souls. I've heard.
Oh,
Can I?
Really now?
Will John make the connection that can cut down the dude? I forgot his name. I'm sorry.
Roko.
Yes, he
Okay.
would immediately realize, like, oh, that could probably hurt Roko really badly.
Just like the realization, and just like John doesn't leave a crooked smile, like.
Quick question. I was handed some nuggets, so I was a little preoccupied eating my nuggets.
Oh, of course.
Did John tell this guy his name?
No.
Are you asking that in character?
No, not yet. I'm asking. Did either of us say his name in like around this guy?
Did you?
No.
I didn't. John didn't.
That's a
Charms,
John.
did you call him John at any point?
No, higher muscle. That's what he called him. To the
Okay.
guards.
Wait a minute.
oh no.
While they're talking, Talia's gonna kind of step up next to Charms and kind of like tap him on like his elbow.
It takes half a second as his thoughts are, I want to read those runes, but yeah, he sort of kneels, he hunches down a little bit.
Did either of us say his name in front of that guy?
He shakes his head as he stands up again and looks to the blacksmith.
Oh.
Say, you wouldn't happen to have a real good ear on you, would you?
Better than that, I have a bad habit of eavesdropping. Sorry about that. I was a bit too excited to see that axe.
I see. Well, I can't. I don't have any ground to stand on. I'm quite interested in seeing it now myself. John, if you would I? Can I please take a look at the axe?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you're usually the one filling with your stuff. I don't mind you look at mine.
I have proficiency in woodcarver's tools, but I assume that's I'm gonna double check what that can do again.
You could use that to get advantage on understanding the hilt. Like understanding the carvings on it a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Advantage, you said?
Yeah. Advantage on if you can recognize these carvings. But for an arcane check, you just have to do regular arcane check.
So woodcarver's intelligence then?
Yeah.
Alright. 18.
Ooh.
Nice. You do recognize the style of these carvings. It seems like the handle is probably newer than the head of the axe, but not too much newer. The carvings were particularly popular amongst craftsmen who made magic weapons sometime about 400 to 600 years ago. But it's a style that's dropped off massively and has been replaced by other methods.
Well, it's a carving style that was left to the history books 400 years ago now. The hilt is newer than the head. Speaking of it, can I just make the same sort of check, but with Smith's tools.
Sure. To understand the metal.
Yeah, understand the metal and basically.
Go for it.
Wow, not a
Oh.
good roll whatsoever. Damn.
Yeah, you can't recognize any of these runes. This is some old stuff. You are certain that it's at least older than like 400 years old, because you've seen some pretty old looking styles of runes. You haven't seen something like this. This is new.
Yeah. This is definitely older than 400 years. Can't even say what type of runes these are. But you recognized it, he says as he hands the axe back to John. There we go.
Yep.
He looks at the blacksmith.
Indeed. Well, it's kind of my job to understand these sorts of things. That was a bit like seeing a celebrity. Hard to believe one of those things still exists. After this many years.
So, you wouldn't happen to have seen this earlier in your life?
As a matter of fact, I might have. What's it to you?
I'm curious. When was the last time you saw something like this?
He scratches his chin and he sits down at a chair he has set up for relaxing while he's blacksmithing.
Must have been, I think about 20 years ago or something. I was sweet on this half-orc woman. God, I loved her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It would be so funny if this is his dad.
He's into muscles. Is there a problem?
English
He's a
McTavish.
blacksmith.
It would be so funny if this was John's dad.
I'm gonna sit in a corner for this one.
No, it wouldn't. No, it would not. It would not be funny.
That'd be funny. Just disguise his motherfucking dad. He's probably gonna beat his ass up.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's not gonna be a fun time because in John's memories, he left without a say.
Exactly.
No, this would be funny for
John's
me.
gonna beat his ass. Oh God.
John's gonna...
Oh no.
It's time. It will be time for Little John to become John.
Wait. John, didn't you say your mom was human?
That's what I think from my memories.
Oh, that's true. Your memories aren't reliable. You're an unreliable narrator. Fuck.
Exactly.
Oh,
Hey, Streaky,
shit.
how old is Little John currently?
Let's see. Let me double check. I think I made him the same age as me, so I think 24, maybe.
Oh no. Oh no.
What are you gonna do? I'm afraid.
Can
What kind of travel are you gonna do? Oh, no.
do can Sharms ballpark this? Like
Oh no.
how old
you
Little
can-
John is?
You can give it a try. Give me a nature check, I guess, or insight check.
Medicine?
I feel like medicine
Yeah,
will be like
medicine
more
would work.
anatomy. Yeah.
Yeah, that could work. I'll take a
Thank
medicine
you.
check to guess his age.
Sharms feels the I'm gonna cast guidance on myself.
Oh
Gotta
God.
oil up this one.
I gotta oh my god.
Oof.
No trauma for you.
7.
Oof.
Yeah, you can't tell how old Little John is. You'll just have to ask him.
Damn it.
You're asking Little John how to count. Remember that.
And how did you last see something like this in relation to a half-orc woman 20 years ago?
Oh, it was just around the time that I knew her. but I came into possession of an item similar to that axe. But, no, not an axe. Would have been kind of horrifying if that thing found its way back to me. I don't even understand the magic inside them.
What was it? A different type of weapon?
No need to get that personal with me. But just now, I encountered an item like that before. That's why I recognized it.
Is there any hint of recognition between him and Little John? Like from either side?
Give me an investigation check, like a look between the two, and do they look similar?
16!
Oh no.
They don't look genetically related. Like he just seems like some dude.
Like there's
He's
no,
like half the height of Little John.
but he, half orc mother. Like
I
There's
hate
a lot of
helping on this.
half-orcs.
Bill John's not going to make this connection.
I really
He
want
doesn't know
this
his
to be the
dad.
way.
He doesn't trust his memories.
It would be so funny.
Oh,
It would be so
God.
funny. But I ain't helping you with this.
Yeah.
I
mean-
already shoot my shot with the fucking mug that kissed me. This is on you.
I mean, you ballpark it, and it seems like it's plausible, but also like, it's might be a little iffy to just be like, "Hey, you're a half orc too.
Yeah,
Could this just
no.
be related to you?" Like,
This is kind of
No.
making the connection. It's like, wait, this person made love to a Spanish officer. Is your mom Spanish? It's kind of like that connection.
Oof.
Yeah,
basically.
This is just angels wanting it to happen, but Sharps wouldn't give a shit, so.
I'm 50-50 of happening, but yeah.
I am concerned. Please don't beat a guy's ass in the center of town.
Who
No.
says I was going to beat his ass?
You?
Who said I was using my hands?
Oh, good God.
Oh, Lord.
Let me return the thing you left me.
Oh, the axe.
Yeah.
Oh, sweetie.
Time to test this new puppy out.
Hey, Streaky, Little
Yeah.
John don't happen to have a backpack at all?
Not really. No. I mean, it's overalls. Where do you think in the first session he shoved the axe down his pants? He didn't have a backpack, man.
No, I know, but it's just. Ay.
You're trying to really dig this one out, aren't you?
No, I'd rather not get stopped by cars again, but nothing we do about that now.
I have a backpack.
She does, yeah.
I got one.
Ah.
You can put your axe in my bag. That sounds wrong. You can put
Whoa,
the weapon in the child's backpack.
Okay. Cool.
The two-handed axe.
Oh
Nope.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
just
for sure, though.
wrap some cloth around the head and put it. Oh my God! Shut the fuck up!
How are we doing this without fucking Pepper here?
I'm so tempted to end the session there and just be like, "Good night, everybody."
Just okay.
Okay, come on, you got this.
Cover.
Uh-huh.
No. You hand the axe to Talia, who's going to store it.
Please don't hand the axe to the 14-year-old.
Here, child, takes this. I'll do crime.
To a crime.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Sharps
Just
get-
hand the axe to me. That's fine.
Okay, John
Yeah.
gives the axe to Talia.
Talia takes the axe, and kind of looks at it for a second, is like, what? Oh, bag. Okay.
Yes.
She'll.
Well. Yeah. He'll turn to the blacksmith and say, "Well, thank you for saving us from a time wasting we do not need."
Don't mention it. Just be a bit more careful. All right.
We
Yeah,
will.
thank you. Didn't want to lose my accent. I appreciate it.
I heard something about a party earlier.
Yes, indeed. We're trying to get a party going at insert local amphitheater tomorrow night.
It's your birthday, Michael.
We're
Well, then,
currently
I'll
out for supplies.
You should swing by those stores over there if you want some booze. He like just gestures towards like a bright red sign.
Like a distillery.
Huh? Yeah.
Like a distillery
it-
kind of thing.
It's a distillery.
It's got like a barrel on it. It's like the sign's red.
Neat.
Mm. Well, hopefully we're able to get a bulk price.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Have a good one, folks.
Thank you.
Same to you.
As
And I assume you all exit stage left from
Yep.
him.
as the other two walk away, Talia kind of like stops a little bit and turns and looks back at him with a very like, "You're suspicious. Why the fuck did you know his name when none of us said it?" She just kind of looks at him for a second, looks over at Maya, who's still on her shoulder, and the dragon kind of stares at him for a second and looks back at Talia. She'll just turn, walk away.
Not you waddle away.
Waddle waddle.
Waddle.
Hey, got any grapes?
Sleeper
Did I
switch
see him
activated.
doing anything, or did he just go back to work?
He just went back to blacksmithing.
Suspicious. I don't like this guy.
Al Nova removes his wig to reveal that he was bald, like John.
Oh my god. No, please.
And pulls out an even smaller hat.
Oh god.
That's
Son.
just going to be the way that it tells that it's John's father, is that he wears a smaller hat.
Any bald man with a hat is now like possibly John's father, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad
No,
thing.
it's any hat, but it has to be small. Like, comedically small.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because who else?
Who else could it be?
Who else?
Roof. Either way,
If not
I'm
related
assuming
to
we
John,
walk
It could
away.
be you. It could be me.
It could be your mom. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, we walk away.
Anyway,
To go get
folks,
boots.
that's all. That's all I got for this session.
All right.
That's it?
Yeah.
There we
Wow.
go.
Wow.
Join
I
us
almost
next
met my
week
dad.
for the Rager that will summon
God.
a dragon.
Oh god. My
I'm
poor
totally gonna have-
autistic child is gonna be sitting in the corner like, I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home.
Right. Now,
John
Now
is
I've gotta
gonna have
actually
his Terry Crews
put something
moment of like,
together.
We're gonna have to find some fucking
Finally, we
noise canceling
make-
headphones.
Yeah. Finally, we're gonna make Pepper become a bard for real this time, though.
For
real.
real this time. Actual barding next session. Jesus fucking Christ.
Mm.
You ever seen
Next
that
session,
scene-
Charms invents noise cancelling headphones.
headphones?
Charms invent next time on Untold Realms. Charms invents noise cancelling headphones. Pepper tries to butt chuck a 3-gallon keg. Little John murders 3 children in a bus, and Talia has a mental breakdown.
Yeah, that sounds about
Jesus.
right.
This is fucking bottom
No,
tier
no.
level bullshit.
Exactly.
Look, Streaky, do me a
That's what
favor.
it is.
Do me a favor,
Yeah.
Streaky. Take a look in the memes channel of the prisoners section of this thing, and just scroll up until you find the picture of the fucking Top Gear guys.
Anyway, people,
Alright.
that has been today's
Fuck,
session.
where the fuck is Prisoners?
Yes,
We all
yes.
Thank you
hope
for
that you
coming.
enjoyed it.
Thank you for
Hey,
going.
let me do my
Thanks
fucking
for
closure. It's my job.
Hold on.
No, I'm
Fucking
doing
taking
fucking
my
do it
job.
then.
What is this, America? Stop
Do your
it.
fucking job.
This is union. This is union work, buddy.
I am
It's
the
literally
outro now.
I
No.
found it.
Good.
We are
Anyway.
not under SAG. We're
Next
not under
time on
NEAA,
Untold
we're not
Realms,
under
Troy
XP.
Elvis King.
Yes. Anyway, okay. All right.
You need to be part of a union
All
here.
right. Everyone, shut the
Everyone
fuck
needs to
up.
shut the fuck up.
Thank you for coming to the Untold Realms, the Gaslight.
Gaslight Theatre immediately.
I'm so fucking tired. Thank you for coming to Untold Realms, the Ghostlight Theatre. We will be back next Saturday with another session 10, where apparently we're summoning a dragon. This is gonna be holy shit. We do have the Reclamation coming back this week on Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Central European time. So that is, I don't know, noon for Americans. 1. I don't know. I think it's 1. I think it's 1 for Americans. I don't know, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Either way, we will be double streaming it again because I think this went really well. So, good to see you. Thank you for coming out. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening or morning if your sucks. Good night.
Hello.
It's morning for me too.
Bye.
It's morning for me too, you fucking clown.